What's up, guys? My name is Swem and welcome back to the channel. We finally got ourselves 87 Slayer in the last episode of the stream. We did manage to get ourselves a Kraken task. Now we are a little bit far into the Slayer assignment or the Slayer task so far today, and that's partly because I did this off stream the other day because I didn't have enough time. But we're using Bracelets of Slaughter today. RNG, man. Hopefully you guys are all having a good day. Hopefully we have a good day as well and we get some good drops today compared to all of our other Slayer tasks, if you guys have been following along with the streams. And because Krakens have plenty of potential. And as you can see in the chat in the bottom left, we got a little bit of negativity going on already today towards us. They were kind of talking a little bit of trash in this clan chat. But as you guys know, we don't let any negativity get to us on the channel. So we're going to finish out this Kraken task, hopefully. I don't know, man. I'm kind of excited about Krakens, mainly because they also have a pet drop, and it's a very easy Slayer monster that has decent chance at good rewards. So hopefully we get something good today. I'm going to be doing, I believe, a loot from 500 and a loot from 1000 of the Cave Kraken video when we get to that point. I can't obviously say when that is because you have to be, if you don't know, you have to have a Kraken task in order to do these. So it's like, with that being said, whenever we hit 500 and 1000 KC on the Krakens, we'll go ahead and make a loot video. Now for today though, yesterday we actually got pretty lucky with our drops. I only did about 19 or 20 yesterday, if that. Well, not yesterday, but whatever day it was. See, but today we're getting really unlucky so far. But yesterday we actually got pretty good drops. I don't want to spoil it or anything for the video when I do make it, but I will show you the loot from all these because so far the loot today has not been very good. But we're on Kraken 24 and so far we've only gotten 345k in total loot, which, that's not too bad, but that's still not very good either. That's over 10k per Kraken. I'm not totally sure how much we use in Trident casts every KC though, but either way, these have a lot of potential to get some good stuff. So I'm excited, I'm happy for it. And most importantly though, let me check something here before I do this. I don't know, man. I can't check it out, it's a little bit late, but raw sharks are somewhat decent as well, so that's always a good drop. I think I consider anything above like 20k per Kraken, or I guess 20k for any monster. I consider that good. 20k is actually a pretty good profit margin, regardless of what monster you're doing. Unless, of course, unless it's like a mini game, for example, like bears. Obviously, 20k at bears is bad. But for like NPCs or basic monsters like this, I consider 20k or above a good drop that I can say I'm happy with it getting, if it's above that 20k range. So raw sharks, totally fine by me. I also like to put my loot in the bottom right corner if you haven't noticed. It just kind of makes my inventory a lot easier to click around and maneuver. So if you don't already know though how to do Krakens, that's really easy. I mean, if you have 75 magic, I would say you can probably do these. I don't really know, like if I didn't have Carols on, I don't know how much these tentacles would actually hit me for. I'm sure one defense pierce can do this, but I'd assume they probably take a lot of damage. I don't have a one defense account to do this on though. But I'm just wearing pretty much my best in slot magic defense gear that I have, of course, besides the Bracelet of Slaughter. The Kraken boss, I believe, can actually do above. I think he can do close to almost 30 damage. But we got our Sears Ring and Boot here. Blessed Spirit Shield, I believe, is my best in slot magic defense bonus shield. And it's also looking like we might have to even recharge our Trident for sure. Well, we're going to have to recharge our Trident for sure by the end of the task. With approximately 27 Kraken, we've used about 505 Trident casts, which seems like quite a lot, doesn't it? But all things considered, you know, we've gotten pretty much all of that back. We got 750 Death Runes and 450 Chaos Runes. So it's like, in that aspect, we don't lose any money in terms of that. We've pretty much gotten all the runes back. If we get another Death Rune drop, we'll actually be ahead a little bit by 150 casts. But that's just kind of a base example of what you can expect at 91 magic. With an imbued Slayer Helm and a Cult Necklace, that's about how many charges we'll use. And of course, obviously, the lower your magic level, the more casts on average you're going to be doing, because you won't be able to do as much damage. But this task, I'm sorry, not this task, but this inventory, we've gotten the shark drop twice, I believe. So when we first started the stream, that's what all the sharks were on the ground. And this is an instance, so this is a private room. You know, you pay 25k, you can get a private room. And so whatever drops we get, they'll always be on the ground. Okay, so yeah, that's good. So it's totally fine then. When I click off there, I was checking my stream delay. I changed my latency settings, that's what they call it. So the stream delay is only delayed now by about 5 seconds. Previously it was like 30, so now it's a lot more real-time interaction is what they call it. But I mean, honestly, I think, now this is clearly besides like good money drops, but I think one of the best drops we can get here is the sharks for sure, because they allow us to stay longer without having to bank. Blood runes, those are good too, but I don't really need those. I mean, I have plenty of blood runes already. More than I really need. You know, because I only use blood runes at the moment for necreal tasks to heal up. And besides that, I don't really use blood runes for pretty much anything, so I will say though, the one thing that I do like about this task is just how AFK it is. If I had enough clips for another video, you know, this would be like the perfect time to edit like another video for my channel or something like that. I might have enough clips for another 5-minute video. Like I said, I don't really do 10-minute videos anymore. Maybe if my channel ever gets bigger, I can go back to the 10 minute plus videos, but for the time being, since I don't have as much time as I used to when I first started streaming and all that to play every single day, I have less clips, and most people don't watch the full 10 minutes of the video anyway. So I just went ahead and I don't want to say dulled, but I lowered the time per video, and I also try just to add like the good clips, aka like back-to-back bearish chests. The other clips were kind of filler clips, I will kind of admit that, meaning that, and I probably will still add those in because those are good to add like the extra bits, like the last few KC, let's say you're doing Dagonoth Kings, so even if you don't get anything good, you know, you'll just kind of put in like 1 or 2 clips of the DK drops. Okay. 42k apparently for those 2 potions. That's crazy. But yeah, man, so like I said, so nowadays I just kind of lessen the amount of time between my clips, and so instead of the 10-minute videos now I just upload 5-minute videos. If people had watched to the end of the video, then, you know, I would continue to do it, but it doesn't make sense to make a video 10 minutes and use all my clips if people are going to watch like 6 minutes anyway. So for the time being, it kind of even makes it a little bit easier to put videos out if it's a lot shorter anyway. You know what I mean? So instead of that though, I'll just put out like say 2 videos instead of 1 video, so it'll just be the same It'll be the same thing, but just one clip. And then if I notice that my watch time goes up per video or something like that, then we can go back to the 10-minute videos. But for the time being, it makes zero sense to keep uploading the 10-minute videos. So I don't know why I always type in chat when I can just obviously talk, but it's all good. I do love how these things are. I hope they're actually 20k each, but I'll have to definitely. And how much are these mysteries? 9k. See, that's not the best drop, but these other ones are pretty good, so I can't complain about that. But I would love those sand fuserums every KC, honestly. 42k is really good, especially for a single one. But we'll definitely have to recharge the trident soon. I'm not exactly sure when. I'm probably less than 900 charges left if I had any guess, right? Okay, 900 on the dot when I checked. Yeah, they do look pretty cool. It's a good boss. I mean, it's totally AFK. The money's really good. Well, of course, if your RNG is good. My RNG is trash pretty much on stream. I haven't gotten any drop worth more than $1 mil in probably like 3 or 4 weeks now. But regardless, we do still make plenty at the Kraken in the miscellaneous drops. So, like, that's not a good drop. I mean, it's not bad, but like, it could have been much better. But we got 60, I'm going to say like 65 left to do if I had any guess, because we have the Bracelet of Slaughters on, so we probably have about 62 to go, or I mean 65 left. So there's still plenty of potential for these things to give some. We'll have to bank probably after this trip, which will be not bad. I do like this boss. I'm definitely happy I got an assignment, or I guess a Slayer assignment or task, because you have to be on task to do these. I said that a little bit ago, but that's the only thing I don't like about this boss. Otherwise, I would probably do it a lot more frequently. I think a lot of people would. It would also make making the loot from 500 and 1,000 videos so much easier, because you'd just be able to camp or do this boss pretty much all day long. But it could take, like, in theory, it could take like 50 assignments to get assigned these, or you could assign them like every 3 or 4. It's pretty much just totally random. And lucky enough, I just got the level to do these, and I got an assignment the same day, so that's actually really good. But we'll have to go bank this stuff now. Let me think. The mining guild, the woodcutting guild. I know the cooking guild's the closest one to the bank, but I don't think the other ones are the same. I don't know what Sand Fuserum does, though. Aside from restoring prayer, I'm not sure what the purpose of a Sand Fuserum is. I think it might add like defense, but if that was the case, it would boost the other stuff. So I don't really know what the purpose of it is, but we'll bank our loot. We'll have to switch this over to the loot tab for sure as well. Sand Fuserum. Apparently I already have some in the bank. Right? Oh no, okay, I didn't put it in. That makes sense. Do like the Grimy Snapdragons. That's a nice drop. We do like the Death Runes and the Chaos Runes. Those are very good drops as well. But now we gotta head back to the Kraken. It's pretty quick to get back there. Now I could hop worlds for a little while and try and find a world that's open, and then that would save us 25k every time we go in. But the problem with that is it'll probably take a long time, and then of course you can get crashed because it is multi-combat. And I can just see that being a huge cluster of people. I might try it though and see if we can find a world, because it's a Sunday, it's pretty early in the morning, so at least on my time. So I feel like if we are gonna have a spot that's open or a world that's open, like today would be the day that, you know, it would probably be doable today of any day. So we'll go to the Kraken and try it out and see if we can get an empty world. But as for dying here, I mean, I don't think it's even, I mean, it's definitely possible, but I think you'd have to be like a 1 defense account, maybe even just super low magic level. But I think there was one guy here, right? Yeah, there's one guy in there. So we'll just hop worlds a little bit. Well, you start playing RuneScape? Alright, so this world is actually empty. Now we'll probably get crashed, but who cares? But now what, you start playing RuneScape yet? Did I guess right? Let's go and reorganize the old inventory. Close enough. Is that on PC? Isn't that on that's on like the handheld devices. I don't know what it's called. Switch, and then there's the old ones. I had Fire Emblem a while ago on Nintendo D. No. I don't know. Was it Nintendo DS? I don't think it was on DS. Maybe Game Boy Advance. Yeah, Switch. That's what I would guess the new one was on. But I haven't had any Fire Emblem games since, I think, Nintendo DS. I don't even know anymore though. But kind of surprised I found an empty Kraken world. But I guess a lot of people these days probably just skip Kraken tasks. Or maybe they just don't feel like doing them, because it does take a decent time. Sacred Stones? Oh, I have no clue. It's been a long time. I don't even know where my DS or my games are. But as far as I remember, it was kind of like a strategy game, or it was a turn-based strategy game. I'm not sure if that's still how Fire Emblem is, but it was like a turn-based RPG / strategy. Yeah, I have no clue. It was probably Game Boy. So that was probably it. It's been so long. I mean, I haven't touched it in like, I would guess probably close to like 18 years. Yeah, probably close to that. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's probably been like 10 years. But, you know, it's all about RuneScape now. It's not all about Rune. Ooh, a Dragonstone ring? Well, wait, let me check the alch value before I do that. Okay, we'll just alch that. I don't care about that 2,000. I mean, I do, but as for grinds, I don't know. I always like games where you can level up a lot, level skills. Fire Emblem didn't really have that when I was, at least not that one. And the game, I don't know, I was able to beat that game in like a matter of 2 days, if not less time than that. I don't know, maybe even, yeah, maybe like a day, like 4 or 5 hours. But I mean, it was entertaining. You know, I was fairly young at the time, so it was a pretty entertaining game. It wasn't bad by any means, but it was just, you could beat it really fast, you know? That was my only real complaint about it. It was just it felt like it was kind of a pretty short game. I don't have a Nintendo Switch though either, but they look pretty cool. Ooh, monkfish, hell yeah. It's kind of a resupply as well. I would have rather had the shark drop probably though. But yeah, no, I used to play, the only thing I really played, like back in the day, I was big into Pokemon. Big into Pokemon games. Like I had all the same, like I would do, you know, you had the Nintendo GameCube. There was a Pokemon, I don't remember what game it was anymore at this point. Pokemon Coliseum. That's what it was. You know, and you could trade off the rare Pokemon or whatever on Coliseum over to like Sapphire or Pokemon Ruby. You know, and then you could have like super rare Pokemon on Ruby / Sapphire off of Coliseum. Like Sapphire, I played all the time. I mean, I have easily, last time I looked, I had close to 300 plus hours on Pokemon Sapphire. I had about 450 hours, I think, on Pokemon Sapphire. But as for the new Pokemon games, like, I'm not even interested. To me, Sapphire is still probably one of the best. Fire Red, Leaf Green, those ones are all pretty good as well, but that's a lot of just stuff that I played. Pokemon, Fire Emblem, and that was really it. Occasionally I played some Yu-Gi-Oh games on PS2. I do kind of want a Nintendo Switch though, but like I said, I don't have that kind of money. In a couple years, when Nintendo Switches are like $50, I could probably pick one up, but I don't know. I don't really like to play games anymore that I can't really stream. I'm not sure if you can stream on a Nintendo Switch, but it wouldn't surprise me if you could. I mean, you could order the games online, probably. You know, you could most likely just order the games online. That's a lot of the things that I did. Like, I have Battlefield 5 on my PC that I got a while ago, and I bought it on sale, like $20 off or something, off of like, so I got Battlefield 5 for like $20, which doesn't really seem that much considering what it is, but the other thing about those though, like that kind of stuff, like that's the thing I love about PC buying games, is that they can just send or email you the game's code, and then you can just download it without having to like use, you know, like back in the day it was cartridges, you know, you'd have to insert that big ass like game stick or whatever you want to call it into the console slot. I don't even remember what console that was. I think Nintendo 60, yeah, Nintendo 64. I mean, all games had to have the cartridges or the discs, but Nintendo 64 just had those big ass cartridges that you had to stick in there, and then they would always get dusty and you'd have to blow the dust out. Still saves you money though if you buy it online. Because regardless, you're still going to be buying the game. So it's like if you buy it, it makes more sense to get it cheaper online than go to the store. But most of the time, it's kind of a negligible difference. It's really only like $5, $5 to $10 cheaper. But of course, then being there, they'd probably charge you more money in shipping costs anyway. So I don't think it really makes too much difference anyway. But a lot of the time, that's just what I do. I don't really ever go to the stores for anything. Like, I haven't been to a store, especially for games, in like 7 or 8 years. I mean, it is like it just makes so much more sense these days to just buy it online. Like, I used to love Blockbuster when I was on console, but of course they don't have Blockbuster anymore because I think Amazon shut Blockbuster out of business, which is a bit unfortunate because I used to love Blockbuster. They had a great system. I mean, my mom paid for it back then, of course, but you know, it was like $7 a month and you could rent any game you wanted in the store for as long as you wanted. And you could rent literally any game. And, you know, of course you had to return it before you could check out another game. And then if you liked it, they even let you buy the game. And if you were the one that rented it, it didn't matter if somebody else wanted it. Like if you wanted to buy that game, that you'd rent it out until you return it. So like I could literally, and I remember, man, that would be so ridiculous. And and being young, I didn't really notice it back then. But like now that I'm older, that was something I said in the other stream about how games, they just hardly last that long. But now that I'm thinking about it, like back then, I was beating like literally every game that I got in a matter of like 4 hours. So I was running like 3 games a day, just blowing through all these games, super hype. You know, because back then I was on Xbox, so I was all about getting like achievements and what they called gamer score. You know, so I was beating all these games in a matter of like 4 hours. Like, hell yeah, man, I'm getting all these points on my gamer score. Because that was something that I liked to do. But like looking back, like those were like $50 games, $60 games. And I was literally like getting 2 different games every single day because I was beating them in that time, or that time period, that time frame, I should say. Yeah, that time frame. And it's like if I was buying those games, like I said today, I just find a lot of these new games, especially single player ones, it's just not worth it. You know, it's $60 or $40 for like 3 or 4 hours of single player. But regardless, you know, it's all a matter of what you like. You know, there's plenty of series. It's all about your series. Like everybody has their game that they like. Like there's plenty of games that I've beaten in a matter of 3 hours, but you know, they had really good replay value, so you could replay the story mode like 20 times and still not get bored. So there's always plenty of games like that out there that I like as well. My favorite series of all time, like I said, is probably the Pokemon series, the Ruby, all the way from Ruby all the way to like Emerald and Fire Red. Because I think I put the most time, aside from Runescape, but like into like a single story-based game is Pokemon series for sure. But you know, it's like Pokemon Go or things like that. You know, I never got into Pokemon Go. That was not a game I remotely felt interested in trying. It just looked, I mean, like all my friends and everything were all about the Pokemon Go hype. You know, they'd stay up until, you know, however long they'd stay up until just running around trying to catch these things. But one game I never really understood the hype about was the Final Fantasy series, and I'm sure there's somebody that's going to end up, or potentially end up watching one of my videos at some point and being like, man, screw that guy for saying Final Fantasy isn't good. But I never in my life, like I tried so many Final Fantasy games, but I just never got into the series. Like I don't want to say it was bad, but I just never got into the series. I mean, I just couldn't see what was so good about it. Damn, I gotta buy my skills necklaces. I think I'm gonna take a ring of dueling instead because that'll save me a lot. That'll save me a lot of money in the long run for these tasks, rather than going to 2 charges of the skills necklace every time. But I mean, I played Final Fantasy on the PlayStation 2 back when I had done it, and it like I said, they never really appealed to me. My other favorite series is probably the Tekken series. I think the Tekken series, or the Tekken franchise, did a pretty good job overall. I can't say I was too pleased with Tekken 7. In terms of that, it didn't really have the same appeal as Tekken 3, but you know, the story mode of Tekken 7 was pretty good, but again, I beat it in a matter of like I don't even know, 4 to 6 hours if I had to estimate. And then, you know, you're kind of back to the same online play. Or the single player mode where you just kind of play against computers all day or whatever, you know? And then you're back to the same old kind of thing. But that's what I said. I think the Tekken and the Pokemon series early on was the absolute best. Are you kidding me? How did I forget my trident? That's some shit. At least I noticed early, but man, how did I forget my trident? Legitimately confused there. Wait, I had it the whole time? Oh my god. Well, that's some BS. I had it in my inventory that whole time. I looked for it, I didn't see it. It's so weird. But now we gotta run all the way back. And our spot's probably gonna get taken, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. I'll find it. Or I'll find another spot if necessary. But like, I'm legitimately confused how I forgot my trident. I guess because of the inventory space. So for some reason, since I ate it there, I just put it down there. But I mean, I legitimately did not see that down there. We were right there too. I always hate when I have to rebank like that. The Halo franchise, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Reach was also good, but I think 2 and 3 were better than Reach, personally, but Reach was still, in my opinion, a very good game. I'm expecting to have to world hop after that performance. Wow. Still nobody here. But yeah, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo franchise, the Tekken franchise, those are all still good and going strong. Bayonetta was really good, but a lot of the time, and that's one thing I absolutely hate, you know, a lot of the time the games aren't offered on PC, you know? They're like, some of the good franchises, they're only on console now, or they're only on Switch, or they're only on PlayStation, you know? Oh, the pirate boots, come on. No doubt the pirate boots is the absolute worst drop you can get. I've gotten pirate boots, I think, like 4 times. It's the only drop that I would say is legitimately what I would classify as worthless from these things. The only one that's worthless, and we've gotten it like 4 times. I don't know what the drop rate is on it, though. It's probably common, I would guess. But I'm surprised that people still are into Pokemon Go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just saw, I think it was a couple days ago, that Pokemon Go actually had an update. Something about like Armored Mewtwo. I don't play Pokemon Go, so I have no clue. But I did see that Pokemon Go is actually still going pretty strong, or at least they make it out to seem like it's going pretty strong. Like it could just be paid advertisements or something. Gen 4 on what? Pokemon? Regardless, I do think that a lot of those things, you know, they just make the remaster version. Like I saw on PC, I think they're doing something about, I didn't really look into it, but it said something about that Halo 3 is coming back to on the Steam store or something, which would be cool. But I bought back in the day, I actually ended up buying a Halo 3 on Xbox 360 like 3 times because my disc, back in the day when with the original Xboxes, the original 360s, if the game was in the drive, the disc slot, if it was in there and you moved the console or picked it up or whatever while it was still running, it would actually scratch the hell out of the disc. It would actually put like a perfect scratch around the whole circle of the disc itself. And that's what happened a few times to my, once to my console. That happened only once to my Halo 3 disc. But it's so unfortunate that that would happen. Then, of course, I got the Red Ring of Death. As for Bioshock, I played it when I was younger. And when I was younger, though, I didn't really get into games like I do today. Meaning that, like, I played them, but, I mean, I just kind of played them for a little while. And if it was anything different than I was used to, and I couldn't just kind of get used to it in a matter of like 10 to 15 minutes, I would just kind of stop the game. And that was something that, like I said with Blockbuster, I rented Bioshock once, the original one, Bioshock 1. And I don't really remember much from it, but at the time I didn't like it. And I don't exactly know why I don't like it, because that was almost 15 years ago now. But you know, I wouldn't mind trying it again today because I hear it's good, and it doesn't look bad from what I've seen. Like I still see people occasionally playing Bioshock 1 to this day. But again, like I said, I just don't have the kind of money right now to just drop on games like that. One game I really liked was the Infamous series. Infamous 3, I believe I had. Or Infamous 2. Let me look really quick. Whichever one had coal in it. Let me take a look. I think it's Infamous 2. Yeah, Infamous 2 was really good. I think that was an amazing game. The Infamous series, I never actually got into it to get the third one. Because I forget why. I'm pretty sure the third one was only on like PlayStation 4. Or no, it wasn't only on PS4. I had an Xbox, I think, at the time. I don't really remember what happened, but regardless, I never got the third one. So, but the Infamous games were amazing. I really recommend the Infamous series. But I think it's only a PlayStation exclusive. You know, that's what I was saying earlier. I don't like how they, as a company, I mean, unless they had to hire a bunch of different developers to like code them for, you know, for like console and Xbox and PC, then it might not really necessarily be worth it for a developer standpoint, because then they might have to end up spending more money than they sell with all the coders or developers for all the consoles. I don't really know how it works, but you know, I'd love to see Infamous come to PC. Because I think it was some of the best. I think Infamous was one of the best series games that I've played. And it actually entertained me to the point that I beat the game on good and evil mode, you know, so it made me replay the game once. And then I also did it for a little while, just on different difficulties and things like that. So the replay value on that game was also pretty good. Let me see how many charges I have in my Trident before I... 500? Alright. So we'll have to restock, I think, after this trip. Infamous series was also really good. I didn't mind Killzone. Killzone is basically the PlayStation variant of Halo. So if anybody's ever played Halo and they thought Halo was a pretty good game, then Killzone is basically the... It's not exactly the same, obviously. You know, there's a decent amount of differences between the two, but the difference about it is that Killzone is quite a bit like Halo. I'm not sure if they have new Killzones to this day and stuff like that, but you know, regardless, Killzone was also a pretty good series. I used to play it offline with bots quite often because it was still fun, you know, just like Call of Duty. You know, when I lost my internet connection, I would just kind of play offline on Black Ops 2 and things like that against bots. So I think those games are always pretty nice. Ones that allow Counter-Strike Source, you could play against bots. You know, there's a lot of different games that allowed you to run with bots. And I'm definitely glad they added that feature to a lot of games. Especially Counter-Strike. And of course, like I've said before, like depending on the people you play against, like, you know, sometimes depending on what difficulty you set the bots to, or they're actually better than actual people online. But Infamous and Killzone, definitely good. Tekken series, pretty good. I don't know Bioshock. I'm not familiar with that one. One series I didn't really like that was kind of popular is the Fear series. Like, I played Fear 1 and Fear 2. I mean, they're not bad, but like I just feel like they just don't feel like complete games. I guess that's the way I would put it. Fear series. Well, still nothing really good on this task. I mean, we haven't got... I wouldn't say overall that I got necessarily bad drops. Because, I mean, I'm certain I still profited this whole task, but... You know, we haven't gotten anything major yet. You know, no pet drops, no tridents. You know, what's our total stack? So we're almost at 1 mil for 53. Which isn't bad by any means at all. But... definitely could have been a lot better, because I think I mean a full trident is I think more than that whole loot there. So if we do manage to get a trident, I mean we still have 45 left, so it's still very possible. You know, 45 is still a lot considering we've been on for, I don't know, how long have I been streaming? Let me take a look. First off, we've been streaming for 43 minutes and we've done 53. So yeah, we got like another almost 45 minutes to an hour left of this task. So it's very possible that we still can get some good drops, but so far nothing's really stood out to me as super good or anything like that. I would like to get the Kraken pet drop though. Arguably more so than the trident or the tentacle. Because I could always use the pet wherever I go. Because the Kraken pet does look pretty cool, so... you know, arguably it would have more value or use, I guess. Granted, we would lose 500k when we insure it, but you know, the pet would follow us wherever we went, so it would have more, what's the word? More sentimental value, I guess. Because in theory, you lose money when you get a pet because it costs 500,000 to insure it, unless you don't insure it, but that's kind of stupid then. Because like when it comes to pets, like you're not really always guaranteed to get another one considering how rare they are, so it doesn't really make sense not to insure the pets. But let's go ahead to Clan Wars, restock the trident, and then we'll go back and try and finish out this task. It'll take a few more trips and that's totally fine. I mean, we got 14k Slag Suite, 28k Magic XP, and 18k HP XP, which isn't exactly too good, I guess, but let's just go ahead and fill the trident up with 1600 casts, I guess, So yeah, we'll do about 1600. We'll just dump these in there. I don't have the fire runes. I was about to say, I was like, wait, what happened? But so we added about 1500 to the total there, whatever death runes we had. So we now have 2000 casts on the trident. That should definitely be enough for the rest of the task. So let's just go ahead and finish that out momentarily. Let's make sure that I have everything we need, and it looks like we do. So we shall refill our run energy and then head to wait, okay, we have the Draymond staff. Perfect. I just hate that so much. They need like a checklist plug-in for people like myself. I'm not the forgetful type, but like when you're streaming and talking, I mean, it's just 20 times easier to not focus or watch what you're doing. So I usually do end up forgetting at least one item by the time I'm actually at the point that I need to be, you know, or when I'm doing my streams. Like I almost always just miss something. Like I thought last time, I thought I missed my trident, but my trident was in my inventory the whole time. You know, they need plugins for people like myself. Or I guess for streamers, because off stream, I mean, I never forget that kind. I mean, I don't want to say never, but it's a lot less frequent. It's just more or less a matter of like I said, when you stream and you talk, you know, you're a bit sidetracked compared to normal. So it's just so much easier to just forget, you know, just one simple item. But you know, it's like if we forgot our trident, we can't do this task. I mean, yeah, we can't do this task if we don't have the trident. I think maybe technically you can range the Kraken, but like I don't understand why or who would want to. So it's like, you know, every item is crucial. We're also saving ourselves a decent amount of money, like close to 100. I mean, I spent probably like 175 to 100k in private sessions or private rooms or instanced. And after hopping a few times, it's determined I don't really need to do that. I just kind of talked to a few people who have done these, and they're all like, yeah, I just always do the instanced rooms. So I was like, okay, I'll do the instanced room as well. But realistically, you really don't need to. I don't really see any benefit to the instance. The only thing that I might think of is, I'm not totally sure, for example, if we got a shark drop, I don't know if it would stay on the ground still if it's not an instance zone. That's like the only thing that really I can think of as to why you would use an instanced over a non-instanced. But for a boss like this, it's really not that big of a deal anyway. So now the only other thing I could upgrade my gear for Kraken to last longer, of course, would be like a Sanguinetti staff. Then I hear if you have the Sanguinetti staff, that you can pretty much stay here forever because it heals you. Obviously, it heals you a decent amount, but subscribers, yeah, I like to see it go up, you know. I just do the best I can with my limited schedule, you know. As like I said before, as long as my subscribers and all that keep going up, as well as my view count, then, you know, I'll keep streaming. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just demotivating, you know? If you don't gain any subscribers, or if your views don't go up, or whatever it be, you know, it really is. It's demotivating to want to keep streaming and enjoying streaming. There we go. That's a good drop. So, like I said, you know, as long as my subscribers keep going up, you know, whether it's slow, whether it's fast, you know, then I'll keep streaming, you know. Because ultimately, like, you can't run a gaming channel by yourself. You know, you need support from fans, you need support from subscribers, whatever. You know, so If people like my streams or they want to keep watching my streams, then, you know, we'll keep streaming. But like I said, about a month we can stream a lot longer, like a good 5 to 6 hours a day compared to a couple hours here and there. I do find that my live streams don't really gain subscribers, whereas like my video uploads do. So I don't really know what that's about, but I mean, if you're going for subscribers as well, you know, you just got to start doing commentaries. It's pretty much it, you know? And the other thing that I noticed about your videos, obviously, like, if you're going to play for 7 hours, you upload 7-hour videos like that. You know, you can't really do it like that without commentary. I mean, you can, but, you know, you're not going to really gain too many subscribers, you know? It has to be like I do, like live stream, you know? Or little videos of just the clips where you do the commentary, like my videos. That's just if you're going for like views or subscribers. You know, that's just my recommendation to everybody. You know, you gotta do a little bit of video editing, you know, just add like the boss clips or little things like that. Or level ups, things like that, you know? What they call highlights. That's my recommendation if you're going for subscribers. So, you know, if you do that kind of stuff, just live stream it. You know, because people generally live streams, once the stream's over, they don't really do good anyway, because most people with live streams, you know, they like to watch it and interact or talk when it's happening live, you know? So a lot of the time, you know, it's like most people don't want to watch long plays unless it's a live clip, or unless you just have commentary the whole time. You know what I mean? Like my live streams, that's why I always still do. That's why I stream, but I also still do my regular videos, because, you know, if you just live stream 24/7, aside from Twitch, because Twitch is nothing but long plays or live streams, but that's just how YouTube works. So, you know, overall, my live streams don't do usually half as good as my regular videos, so I'm not totally sure why, because I always interact with my subscribers or people that watch my videos, but, you know, there's always just those guys out there, or girls, I guess, that are dicks, and, you know, they just kind of, you know, they don't really watch the video, they just come just to hit the dislike button and leave, or, you know, or they just kind of pop in and they're like, I've said it before, you know, a lot of the time when it comes to live streams or streamers, you know, what really makes streaming or a streamer classified as a good streamer, you know, aside from doing stupid stuff, or like for me, like I have the ability for now that I can talk, even if nobody's in my chat. You know, I have the ability that I can still talk about the game for hours and hours at a time. You know, that's the kind of thing people like to see. You know, they don't like to just necessarily watch no commentary, things like that. I mean, there's plenty of people out there that do like that kind of stuff, but, you know, as a whole, most people want to see commentary or things like that for 2019. Back in the day, like 2001, 2002, you know, YouTube was so much easier. I wish I was streaming, or well, they didn't even really have streaming back then, but, you know, nowadays, like, there's just so many people that stream, there's so many people that do YouTube, because fast internet is a lot more available to so many people that everybody wants to get in on the streaming now. So it makes it a lot harder, but, you know, I try and take YouTube seriously now, gain my subscribers and my views. If it works out, it works out, and if not, then, you know, it is what it is. You know, you can never force people to watch your streams, you can never force people to watch your videos. All you can do is just keep trying and do your best, and, And you know, it is what it is. I mean, everybody has their own unique thing, but for me, like I said, I mean, so back to the original topic, and I've said this before on my other streams, but like I said, you know, there's, like, for example, my live stream could have a total or end up having a total of like 30 views in total, right? But there might only be like 2 or 3 people out of those 30 that actually say anything in the chat. So what really makes, I don't know what that noise was in the background, that just scared the shit out of me, but what really makes a good streamer or a streamer's video or whatever, or a live stream good, isn't necessarily the live stream itself or the gameplay. You know? I mean, that's a big part of it. But the other big part of live streaming is having active people in the chat. You know what I mean? So I said that before, but you know, especially like a lot of people will come to the video, you know, they'll see that there's not really too many people in the chat and they'll just leave. You know, that's totally fine. You, like I said, you can't force anybody to watch your streams, but you know, it's like if there's 10 people in the chat and only one's talking, obviously the stream's not going to be as necessarily fun, especially on a game like Runescape. Because Runescape, unless you're pking or doing raids or a hard-ass boss or something, you know, like this boss here is kind of AFK, so you know, there's really not much more I can do to make this interesting aside from talking. So like, depending on the game, that's what makes a good streamer is the people or his subscribers or his fans who watch his videos, and they just make the chat active. You know what I'm saying? Because it's also more fun for viewers if they have other people to type and chat with. So, you know, the video is good, but you also have to have people who are interested enough, I guess, to actively socialize in your chat. I mean, I appreciate anybody that watches my videos, whether they talk or not, but I just feel like I always have to point that out. Like, that's really what makes views and streamers, you know, is like the people that watch the videos have to be active and talk in the chat, because it makes it more fun for everybody. As for that, yeah, I mean, you know, that there's a lot of people that like there's a lot of people that like to, you know, watch, like you said, you know, they don't like to talk during the series. I mean, for me, you know, one thing I do when I do those kind of games, when it comes to the story mode, like you said, I just don't talk during the story when the characters are talking. You know, or maybe I'll just say like one little thing here and there. But like for me, like I commentate, and then whenever the story mode hits or the dialogue scene goes, you know, I just kind of stop talking until the end of the cutscene or something like that. So, I mean, you could try that, you know. Obviously, like I said, you don't have to do what I said. You know, I'm not trying to tell you how to do YouTube by any means, but that's just what I've noticed with your videos, and that's what I think you could definitely improve on if you're going for subscribers or view counts. You know, I'm just being realistic with you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to come off as negative, but that's just my recommendations for what I would do for your videos if you're going for subscribers. You know, and I say that to a lot of people. That's just how YouTube is now. You know, most people don't want to sit there and just watch the game or the game clips. You know, they want at least some commentary here and there. But like I said, I mean, everything works different for everybody. Like I've seen people that don't even talk or even show the dialogues. I mean, I don't know how, you know, maybe they bought subscribers, honestly, but I'm not gonna sit here and talk shit on other YouTubers or anything like that, because I mean, I respect everybody's grind, you know, and I understand, you know, everything's not for everybody, but I've seen people with like 1,000+ subscribers and they don't even talk, they don't do anything, and most of the time their videos are even laggy. Like they record and their videos stutter, they have a ton of frame drops, they're at like 240 pixels. They don't even talk, they just put music in the background, you know, and they end up having like 2,000+ subscribers and, you know, whatever it is. So, I mean, that's why I don't really tell anybody what to do, you know? Like, just do your own thing, you know what I'm saying? I think the biggest part when it comes to YouTube isn't necessarily, I mean, at this stage in 2019, I don't really think it it has to do a lot with, for example, right, your content, okay? Like, you have to have decent or good content from the start. You feel me? But from that point on, when it comes to getting subscribers in 2019, it has more to do with the right people finding your videos, right? So people that have been doing YouTube for, let's say, 5+ years at this point, or people that have like 20,000 plus subscribers by this point, you know, it's those people who you want to see your content and like your content, and then say like, hey, you know, this guy only has 20 subscribers, but he actually has some pretty good videos, or I actually enjoy watching his videos. So that's really, in 2019, one of the main steps on how to get bigger or subscribers, you know? It's more about who you know or who you're connected with, rather than the content itself. But you know, if you keep with it though, and you put out good content, I mean, eventually, you know, you can grow it on your own, but it'll just take 3 times as long, you know? But it's still plenty doable. You just gotta have patience. You gotta stick with it. So like I said, you know, you can keep doing what you do, no doubt. There's definitely content for that. It's all about the games you play though too, you know? For example, like let's say a new game just comes out, you know? And then you're the first one streaming that game, or one of the first on YouTube streaming that game that just came out that same day, or that same, like within 24 hours, you know, things like that. It's kind of hard to do that kind of stuff with Runescape, being how old it is. Ooh, oak planks, hell yeah. So we got 34 to go. Still nothing too fancy. We did get some decent drops, so I'm not going to complain, because my drops could have been a lot worse, significantly worse. But still didn't I wouldn't say I still got like insanely good drops, you know? I'll have to buy more monkfish after this as well. Overall, let's see, I guarantee you I made over $1 million this task. Well, not $1 million, because all in all, supply costs, you know, we made about it, let's say 800k, because I used most of the runes we got to resupply my trident. So all in all, we made probably close to 800k. I think it's so crazy though, like look at all these people on my friends list. Like, these guys play semi-active, or at least they say they do. There's a lot of them that I actually haven't seen for a while on Runescape. I'm not going to say their names, obviously, but that, like, I talked to a few of them this week, and they say, yeah, they're like, yeah, I still play like 3-4 hours a day, man. I'm on like every other day. And some of them I haven't seen on in like weeks. So I don't really know how that's possible, but I think it's crazy that every time I get on, like, none of my friends, like, not even one dude is online, like 80% of the time that I'm on. And like, today's Sunday at 11:30, like, it's not really like a crazy hour to be on, or like a crazy day, you know? It's not like a Friday night or a Saturday night. Like, most people on Sundays, like, they just chill out, because, you know, a lot of people have off on weekends that work jobs and shit like that. So most people are just chilling on Sundays. So like, I would think on a Sunday, like, you'd see more people online than not. But, you know, somehow I always end up being on when no what's the word I'm looking for? When no one else is on. That's on my friends list. As I said, RuneScape's totally fine by yourself. That's why I played a lot. But I just find it like that. I just find that kind of weird, considering that they tell me that they're on like 3 or 4 hours a day. Alright, appreciate it, my man. I guess we can add you to the friends list. Of course, as long as you're online, okay. Appreciate it, my man. But yeah, man, I don't understand how that's possible. But It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really complaining by any means. It's just like I find that a little bit strange because I still talk to all of them, you know what I'm saying? Like I talk to a lot of those dudes still, and I guess it's just bad timing. I don't know, but like I said, it's not even lunchtime yet on a Sunday, so please, please, I'm just gonna say this now, okay? I would like to get at least one semi-rare, because this boss really isn't. Alright, sounds good. I will see you later then. But please, man, please, please. Just one. One unique or rare drop this task. And then they give me watermelon seeds again, man. Like, come on, bro. What have I done to deserve this bad RNG? That's all I want to know. Like, I haven't gotten in a bit. I'm not complaining. I don't like to be that guy that complains, but like, I haven't gotten a single rare on this. The drop rate for the rares on this boss is actually a lot more frequent than the Abyssal Demon. Because this boss actually, I think that the Kraken Tentacle is 1 in 412. So you got a 1 in 412 drop rate for the Tentacle. And then Trident is like 1 in 912 or like 1 in 900. And yeah, I hope I get the pet. Like I said, I mean, the pet has like no value, but I still would like my first pet. It's one of the reasons I like the Kraken, because, you know, he has a chance of giving you the pet, so that's pretty sick. But come on, bro. It's all good. No complaints. No complaints. All good. Yeah, so we got 35 left. Totally fine. My main drop I would like to get, though, is the Brimstone Boots. That would have been nice if we got the... I don't know, I think it's Drake's Claw. It's either the Claw or the Tooth. I don't even know which one is which, but the drop rate on those on task is also 1 in 512. So, I don't know. I just feel like one day we'll just do, like, what is it? Cerberus when we get 91, or, you know, I feel like one day I'll do raids or something, and like we'll get a scythe on our first raid, and then I'll be like, yeah, you know, everything worked out. So I'm not complaining even if we don't get one this task, but it is what it is, man. Ooh, seaweed. Hell yeah, we got some food. But it would be nice to see at least something. I mean, it just gets even kind of boring, even just kind of like playing it when you get bad RNG all the time. And I say that because like it's exciting, it's fun when you get a decent drop, or even if you get a pet, you know what I'm saying. Even if you already have the pet, it's still kind of exciting to get the pet again. You know what I mean? So hopefully we get something somewhat rare. You know, like I said, I'm not asking for a full trident, even an uncharged trident. I think the uncharged tridents are like 60k, you know, but I'd still like to see just at least one rare this task. Trident is 57k, so, you know, like I haven't seen a single rare in like weeks. I think like the last real rare that I got was like a Berserker ring. When I did DKs like a month ago, which is sad to say, but it is what it is. As for the pet, wait, what? Oh yeah, just trying to get a spirit seed. Is that like the best way to get it? What's a spirit seed even for? I thought like everything can drop spirit seeds, or most things can, can't they? I mean, I could be wrong, but isn't it just like super rare? I could be wrong, but I've gotten spirit seeds, unless they've changed it over the years, but like when I was younger, I've gotten spirit seeds from like trolls, and you know, I got a lot of spirit seeds over the years. Like, I'm certain back in the day, like, trolls and, like, anything, like, above level 50 would occasionally drop a spirit seed. I never really understood what they're for, though. I think, aren't spirit seeds for planting, like, the teleporting trees in a farming patch? Isn't that, I think that's what they're for, right? I've never actually used them, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're used for. And now we're getting comboed to hell. The only issue that I have with the giant mole is, you know, I haven't done the Falador Hard Diaries yet, so it's way too much running around. But I do think if you have Darox, I do think I hear Darox at max combat, or I guess even like 90s or mid 90s. I hear is actually pretty good at the giant mole. And I hear that the giant mole is actually like a good mil plus per hour. So that's always pretty sick. You know, anything that kind of does like a mil per hour. I hear Kraken's also a mil per hour, but I think I kind of disproved that today on stream. Or I guess close to it. I mean, 867k. It's hard to say, because this is technically all profit. Aside from these soul runes and the bloods, because I don't sell those. So let's just say 700k, because I sell all this stuff. Yeah, I don't do giant mole unless I get that. And I have to grind out a shit ton of levels, and I just can't be bothered yet. Whenever, like I said, in about a month or so when we can grind more, I'm going to do a lot of AFK skills. You know, the streams will probably be a little bit boring, or a lot more boring compared to if they're boring or what now. I have no clue. I mean, I don't really know if AFKing Krakens is the most entertaining thing, but regardless, you know, we'll AFK mining at the Motherlode mine, we'll AFK dart tips with smithing for a while, maybe do some hunter, so that we can work towards, I guess, Dragon Slayer 2 and things like that. So that's what I plan is in about a month's time. And of course, amidst all that, we'll be doing Slayer off and on to keep things a little bit more interesting. But you know, for the most part, we'll be grinding skills to get quest requirements about a month, because then I can play about, well, Monday through Friday, give or take, in about a month and a half, I'll be able to start playing approximately 4 to 5 hours every day. So that's a good 20 hours a week. Kraken's pretty good. I mean, it's 100% AFK basically, unless you get comboed, but I don't know. I don't really get comboed, so I can't complain. You don't really take damage, as you can tell. I mean, occasionally you do. Like, it's kind of rare that I'll get comboed. It really is, but it's happened before. Like, I've already alt-tabbed in and I was at like 40 health. And he can hit, I think, 28 or 30 max. AFK mage train where? I don't even know what you're talking about. The Motherlode mine? Because that's what I said the last. I have no clue. I didn't really know that was a thing. But even if you could, that sounds so expensive. Unless you like splash or something. But I don't know, I don't want to try it. I don't want to waste trident casts. I wouldn't do it with the trident anyway, because you only get half XP, but I mean, I doubt it. It's probably fixed. I can try it after this. I'll do all 3 and then just click on it. How did you check if you're 83 Slayer though? Yeah, it looks like you still get it. You get magic and hit points XP if you cast on the center, apparently. So I guess that's a cool little tip if you want to splash, but I don't really see why you'd want to when you can do Dust Devils and make a shit ton of GP and of course a lot more profit, unless it doesn't log you out or something. But I feel like that could be bannable if they catch you. But now you get magic and HP XP apparently, so that's actually pretty sick. But again, like the XP rates that you would get there is a lot less than, you know, if you just bursted Dust Devils or something. And and it's actually quite costly to do stuff like that. Another 40k, I'll take it. Those are the drops I like to see. The other drops, honestly, I don't really care for. Like, I don't really care for watermelon seeds or edible seaweed. Like, come on, man, what's that stuff about? But now I feel like that, I mean, that's by splashing on the middle, you know, that's an obvious bug exploit, I guess. Maybe it's not a bug, but I find it a little bit weird that they would make it give XP unless they didn't want people to do it, I guess. Or they would have patched it by now. I'm sure they're aware of it. But, you know, like I said, it would be kind of dumb to do that anyway. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just another overrated quest, to be honest. I hear though that the crystal armor is gonna be like hella OP. Apparently, it's better than like Justicia. I didn't see the quest requirements, but I'm almost certain I don't have enough yet. I mean, skill requirements or quests even, that too. But like I said, I'll grind out some like Dragon Slayer 2 or Monkey Madness 2 requirements when I can play more. You know, I'll do a little bit every day. You know, like maybe 2 or 3 hours of mining or smithing every day. And then a few hours of Slayer or combat, just to keep things varied. Or I guess variations, just so it doesn't get too boring, because it's pretty boring watching you just mine the same spot. Just like I'm sure this is probably a little bit boring, but you know, it's the task we got assigned, so it is what it is. But I do like Kraken tasks anyway, so you know, the money's good. You know, I'd be stupid if I skipped this task if I was going for GP or anything like that. Although it does look like we're going, from what I can tell, all the runes that you get, Chaos and Death runes, pretty much, you basically don't get those runes, because from what I can tell, all the runes that you actually use pretty much goes into the Trident casts. You know, like I'm not really gaining any Chaos or Death runes by doing this. You know, I'm basically using all of them that I'm getting, and then just using them again to refill my Trident. So yes, another nice little resupply. That's about another 2 or 3 KC this trip. Slaughter bracelets also gave us about 18 extra Krakens, which I guess that's good. I mean, Like I say all the time, like I don't really want to come across as negative, but it looks like we're not going to get any rares or uniques so far. But you never know. It's possible. I'm going to be absolutely baffled if I don't, because like I said, I've gone dry now for so long without one. Like, it doesn't even make sense at this point how my RNG could be so bad, because like we're talking almost 2000 KC dry with a 500%. A bucket. Now that's probably more rare than a Kraken tentacle if I had to guess. Like, I don't even care if I got the jar of dirt or the jar of sand, whatever it is. I think that one's only like 6k. But I'd still be happy with it just because I can finally say I got another rare. So we'll see how this task plays out. But so far, still making profits, so it's totally fine. But let me take a look. The bucket's a 1 in 128. The Dragonstone ring we got earlier was 1 in 128 as well. Rune bar is also 1 in 128. And then I got another drop that was 1 out of 128. So yeah, I guess I can count that as a unique, I guess. You know, that's still considered rare according to the wiki. You know, 1 in 128. So I guess I can say I got a unique, but at the same time, not really. But yeah, a bunch of 70s. I saw that earlier. I just didn't respond. But yeah, that's kind of what I expected. You know, base 70s really isn't that bad, considering that crystal armor is supposed to be like the best in the game. You know, base 70s really doesn't seem like a lot at all, to be totally honest. Especially being that, like, I don't want to say I have base 70s already, but I'm really not that far off in theory. I mean, you know? $61 to 70 mining, I mean, that's a kind of a decent grind. So is 70 agility. But like the rest of my skills really aren't that hard to get to 70. I'm actually like pretty close to base 70s. Aside from, of course, rune crafting, but you know, hunter, that's really not a long grind to 70. Construction, not really a long grind. Crafting, definitely not a long grind. Fletching, 67 farming, 53 thieving. Thieving's not really a long grind either. I mean, the thieving one's a bit long at 53, just because, you know, you have a really high fail rate at master farmers and that kind of shit, but, you know, once you're at like 60s and whatever level it is for the pyramid plunder, if you do it that way, it's really not that hard. You know, and then the rest of my skills are basically 70 already, so it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, like, hard diaries require more than that. But the other thing I remember is, though, it's not finalized. You know, the quest isn't out yet, and that's always subject to change. So, you know, they could change that by the end of the task release. It could end up being like base 85s or even 90s. So we'll just have to see when it actually comes out. But I think that's good because I'm kind of sick of things being skill locked, you know? I don't really think it's right to force people to level their skills to do quests. You know? Like, I just feel like everybody should be able to play the game the way they want to play it. You know, I don't feel like you should be forced to do bad skills or skills you absolutely hate just to do a quest to unlock a certain armor, you know? That's my opinion. I think they should just make the quests or the quest bosses a lot harder rather than make the quests have a bunch of ridiculous or stupid skill requirements. That's my opinion. I think they should just make it harder. For example, like, you know, Dragon Slayer 2 boss or things like that. Let me check something here. Okay. So it looks like he still has us on our friends list. I just haven't seen him on in ages. It just doesn't make sense to have to level base 70s, you know? And it's like, especially for people that don't have the same amount of time. I mean, like, I know I've heard that said so many times before about people complaining that they don't have enough time to level skills or whatever. But, you know, like I said before, I don't have internet at my house. And now that my schedule's different and I can't play 5 to 6 hours a day, honestly, I can honestly see the grind, and it's a ridiculous requirement. It really is. For people like me in a month or so when I can play every day or whatever, you know, no big deal. But you got to think of the big player base. 90%, like I would say close to 80 to 90% of the players that play the game, they don't have that kind of time. You know? It would take me probably like 3 to 4 weeks, if not longer, to get base 70s. And I'm almost 70 already with most of my skills. As a casual player, not really rushing it, just playing, relaxed, chilling. You know, it'd probably take me a good 4 weeks. And that's not even... And it's like... And I don't buy bonds. Like, I use in-game GP. So, if I didn't get the help so far that I got from subscribers and such, shout out to all my subscribers and fans that helped me out, you know, I'd probably be just grinding my money all day long, stressed out, trying to get money for a bond all the time and still manage to get gear upgrades. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really is a struggle. I really feel like they should do something about, oh shit, I should have tellied. I'm gonna risk it. I probably shouldn't, but let's risk it. It's probably my final words before we die, but all good. I'll try and tally out before we die if I get low health. But, you know, it's like, now that I do really see it as a struggle now. It would take me a good 4 weeks at my current schedule and my current time with like 2-3 hours a day. It would take me probably a good 3 to 4 weeks, almost a month, to get the rest of my skills to 70. If not longer than that. I mean, that's a hell of a grind for somebody that also is trying to juggle a bond on the side. You know what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculous amounts of requirements, and it's just really unnecessary. You know, they got to think about their player base as a whole and not just the people that know life 24/7. But that's just my opinion, of course. A lot of people will probably tell me to shut the hell up or disagree with me, but I definitely think that's something that should change. Or quests that take over an hour in themselves, I think is ridiculous. You know, Monkey Madness even takes a long ass time. You know, I just can't stand wasting my time on quests for minimal rewards, but they're required in order to get to certain phases of the game. I mean, there's some people out there that love quests. They think they're the best thing ever. But that's just my opinion. You know, like, I don't feel like I should have to do a quest to do Ancients, you know? It's like I already did Ancients once on my main. I don't want to have to do it again on my pure account. If I ever make a pure account or an alt account. You know, that's just ridiculous. That's a long ass quest. It's really annoying. But that's just how the game works, so. But yeah, I'll probably get crystal armor. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I hope it's like the other crystal items and you can just get it fairly cheap for what it is from like the quest sellers or vendors. That would be really nice. Rather than, let's say, you know, having to spend like 100 mil in the GE, because that's just ridiculous as well. But that would be, I definitely would like just to be able to buy it straight out from the NPC. And they could even make the price 3 mil, I don't really care. As long as, I do love the fact, and I do think it's really nice how they, like the other crystal items, you know, the more you buy, the less money it costs. That's a really good feature. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate then. I don't understand why they do it. Even as like a company or developers, I mean, that takes so long for them to code. And realistically, nobody wants to spend that much time. I mean, there's plenty of people out there that are like, hell yeah, man, I love... You know, I talked to one guy a while ago who since we don't talk too much anymore, or if ever, that played RuneScape, and you know, he just loved quests. He would just log in every single day just to read all the lore, and you know, he never did anything on the game really except anything that allowed him to do another quest. So he would just log on and level his skills. Even if he didn't like the quest or the skills, I mean, he would still level the skills so that he could do the quest. You know, and even the Halloween events, he would never skip any of the dialogues. He would read every single cutscene, every single dialogue to every quest, to every Halloween or Christmas event. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he would spend hours and hours on every single quest, just reading everything and like analyzing it drastically. And I was like, man, I don't know why you want to play like that. You know, because like he would only get like 100,000 XP every day, because like 90% of his time is just spent reading and like studying all this lore and all these quest lines. And I'm like, dude, seriously. Or I'd ask him like back then that was about a while ago when I was still making PK videos, and you know, I was a 40 defense Green Dragon PK. And I'd always be like, hey man, come PK with me, you know, we can go to the lava maze and we can duo, split loot, whatever you want to do, like let's do this. And he'd be like, nah man, I can't. I gotta go read like the lore of whatever. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me, dude? Like, all day long, that's all he would do, is just read the lore and do quests, man. But I mean, he loved it, you know, that was his way of playing the game. So I'm not trying to bash anybody like that, but you know, I'm baffled that people do that. Because for me, whenever I do a quest, I just hold spacebar the whole way through, and I'm like, finally. You know, I don't ever read any of it. I just skip everything I possibly can. And I'm just like, finally. You know, waste of 3 hours of my time that I make no money. I get 0 XP. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just such a waste to me. You know, or they should just up the quest rewards or something. You know, oh my god. You know, like, they have plenty of quests that give like XP lamps and things like that, and skills you wouldn't normally get. And I love those, you know, that's great. But yeah, the majority of quests, they take an hour and you get like 10,000 coins. You know, 1,000 XP, and it's like, I I just like even my bear's gloves. Like I don't have B gloves yet. Like I just can't be bothered to waste all my time on these quests. Next month though, like I said, we can play longer. We're gonna work towards bear's gloves. I'm gonna put my mind to finding a partner for Heroes and Legends quest. I just, like I said, I don't have the time today. I'm even pretty tired right now. It's only 12 o'clock, but I was up since about, I think I woke up today about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I've already been up for a good 11 hours today. So might even just take a break and get some sleep in a little bit. But, you know, I'll probably play at least another hour, maybe hour and a half. At least, I would guess today, but we'll see how I feel, man. But yeah, he was definitely one of those guys. It took him 3.5, 4 hours on Desert Treasure because he was reading all the storylines and like researching all the lore on all the different like the ancients and the Zaros and all this and that. And I'm like, dude, like you've been on for 5 hours, you got 20k XP, and you didn't make any money or get any levels. Like you didn't do anything today. And he was like, yeah, so what? You know, he's like, I'm having fun. I love this game. And I love the quests. So, you know, like I said, not trying to diss anybody or talk shit, you know, but everybody plays how they play. But I think the majority of players, they don't want a long quest. So from a developer's standpoint, I don't understand why they would make it a long quest. You know, like the older quests I can kind of understand because, you know, they were kind of like, you know, old developers, things like that. And, you know, they didn't have the game knowledge they have these days. You know, like back then they had different developers and everything like that. So, and they also didn't have the polling system. They didn't have like a lot of the features they have now. So they really had no kind of idea of making quests long or whatever. They were just kind of like, you know, we'll just code this quest and we'll do this and we'll do that. But it's like now, I mean, I guarantee you like 90% of the player base would rather just have a short quest. One that doesn't take 10 hours, but, you know, like I said, there's always that one guy that's like, yeah, dude, let's make the quest 500 paragraphs. I'll take my whole summer to read the rest of the storyline. And then after that, they'll have 5 more quests we can read. You know? There's always that one guy that's like, yes, I'm so happy they made this quest 600 parts. Can't wait to do it. But for me, I don't think I'm just sick of seeing games make items quest locked, you know? I'm not saying they shouldn't add stuff like that, but I would much rather have mini games released with them. You know, let the mini games, and make sure that you make the mini games solo so you don't necessarily need other players to get it in a decent amount of time. But add different ranks and like other cool rewards and stuff like that. Like, you know, like I would much rather see a new mini game that takes 3 or 4 hours, maybe 5 hours of grinding, you know, and then be able to get these items. That would be a lot nicer in my opinion. Or like Castle Wars, you know, like Castle Wars rewards are done really well. You know, it takes weeks to get the max Castle Wars armor. But like when you do Castle Wars, it's really kind of fun. You know, as long as you don't do it 24/7 if you grind it. But I mean, Castle Wars is actually really well done as a mini game and as a whole. So, you know, like there's no pressure if you get PK'd or die. I mean, it's like, you know, it's just pure entertainment. Aside from the fact that you don't get any money and the XP rates are kind of low. But other than that, I would rather see a new minigame be coded or something. and then, you know, different like mechanics or play style of a minigame. Or just make it a monster drop, honestly. I just hate quest locked requirements. I don't personally think it's a good idea. But again, I know a lot of people will disagree with me on that one. But that's just my opinion, you know. I just feel like maybe certain things, you know, you can make locked behind a quest, but you know, things like ancient magics, I don't think ancient should be quest locked. I think you should just be able to go somewhere and change your spell book. But that's my opinion. Especially when it takes a decent amount of time to get the levels to use ancients anyway. But like I said, it's mainly about the other players though that just don't have the time to grind 24/7. You know, it's not fair. It's really not. But it would be so much easier even on the development team not to code these long ass quests. I mean, I don't see really any positives to making quests hours and hours long, you know? Literally, I see zero benefit to really anybody. Except, like I said, except that rare dude that wants that long quest. But the majority of people don't, so I don't understand why they would ever do that. Unless, of course, their goal is to annoy the player base. You know, maybe some guy at the development office finds that kind of stuff funny. I don't know. You know, maybe they laugh when they go on the Reddit and see them complain. You know, that's the only real reason that I can kind of think of why they would make it super long. $12 to go. Still no rares. Still no pets. Some more watermelon seeds? Hell yeah, boys. Let's take a look. How much money did we get in watermelon seeds? Ooh. Maybe I should be picking those up. 2.7k. So I basically let 14k on the ground. I never knew watermelon seeds were so expensive. But I'll definitely pick those up from now on. I didn't really realize they were that much money. I thought it was like 2k or... Wait. I thought it was like 400 or 500 coins. You know, I thought it was kind of like a wasted drop like the buckets. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Without guides, like you know, I've seen YouTube series or videos where people try and they're like, hey man, like, on today's episode, we're gonna do this quest without a guide. And it's just like, why? I don't understand. But some people just like to play that way, and that's fine, but I'll never understand. At least let me put it this way. Alright, some more watermelon seeds. Let me put it this way, right? At this phase or this moment or portion of my life, I won't understand. You know, maybe when I get older, you know, maybe my mindset will change and I'll be like, yeah, dude, I love reading some good lore. Or I love reading some good, you know, whatever. Or doing quests without a guide. But at this stage, I'm like, man, just stop it. $11 to go. Got 3 charges on the old bracelet. 26k Slayer XP though. I guess that's somewhat decent. Considering, all things considered. 26k on a single Slayer task, that's really not that bad. Considering that this thing has no superiors or anything like that. You know, it's really not bad XP rates. It's not exactly the best, but you know, for a single task, that's actually kind of good. Looks like we'll probably have to do one more trip. Unless we get a shark drop, but looks like we should finish this task within the next trip. And then we can get our next task. I wouldn't mind Abyssal Demons. I mean, you know, like I say all the time, you know, the strength XP is good. Although, you know, I already know I'm not going to get a whip. But we are 291k off of 87 strength. And then 170k. So we got a bit of time yet, even for my melee, until we even get a single level. But, you know, 170k is really not that much. We'll get it a lot faster than you think, you know. It just, like, you look at it and it doesn't seem like it'll be, or like you'll get the levels soon. And then you finally get it and you're like, man, that was actually no time at all. So bracelets came in clutch twice now, this inventory, maybe 3 times, I wasn't watching, but so now we still have 11 to go. We did get the raw sharks though, that's actually a decent drop. I also got the monkfish earlier, but my cooking's not really high enough. And we almost got 2 mil in this task alone now, which is insane. For 104 Krakens. So yeah, that's pretty good profit margins. I mean, it's easily 10k plus per KC, easily. I would say almost, yeah, like 17k per KC almost. Let's just say like 12k. It's definitely a good idea though, just to hop worlds. Ooh, another 18k. See that? That's what we like to see. Oh, I clicked Castle Wars, didn't I? Yep, I knew it, man. I knew it once I saw that. Saw the Castle War. Misclick. I do have to buy monkfish again though. I think, yeah. Definitely have to buy more monkfish. I think I'll just, no, I'll keep the watermelon seeds, screw it. But our bank tab's looking pretty good. About 1.42 million coins. We got some 114 snapdragons, man. That's actually a lot. I mean 146. Well, actually, yeah, we got 168, 158. I didn't even know I had that many, but we got 1 million snapdragons alone. It's looking pretty good. It's coming along nicely. Quite nicely, if I do say so. Now, like I said before, those will all be super restores. So we have 146 super restores. Once we get one more farming level, which really won't take, I mean, one more herb lore level, which really won't take too much more time at all. I mean, I only need like 70 Raynars. Which I know sounds like a lot, but it's really not. I mean, it is, but like, when it comes to farming, or even like quarms or whatever, you know, we just need like 70 or 80 more. And then we'll be 62. And then we can do 146 super restores. That's a lot. It's basically 146 prayer potions, really. I'm not sure the price difference nowadays though, but let's see, did we get crashed? I can't tell. No, we still didn't get crashed. Wow. It's so weird that no one's come to this world by now. I mean, back in the day, like Krakens, my understanding was it was hard to find a spot. Because all the old guides I've looked at all mention make sure you just go to the private instance, which is 25k. So we'd be down like 200 or 300k by now if I was doing that. Now we'd be down like 150 to 200k if I was doing the instanced ones still. Because, you know, it's 25k for every instance, which I don't know. I think those gold sinks are also a bunch of crap. Ridiculous. It's pointless and unnecessary. As much as I see people like, oh yeah, I love gold sinks, tax the dual arena market, you know. Make people have to pay so that they don't get crashed. You know, 100% support. I think that's all really stupid. You know, just stop it. Honestly, it's such a stupid feature. I shouldn't have to pay money so I can get my own one. You know, it's a boss. You know, it's like I already spent enough time getting 87 Slayer. You shouldn't have to pay extra money. Now, granted, you know, it's only 25k, so... And this boss, you make, even with the instance, you still make a lot of money. You know, you still make a lot of money or decent profits, even if I was paying 25k every entry. So, because of that, it's really not a big deal. But at the same time, it's such a... Why? I don't understand. Why would they make you pay? And I don't know, I don't really get crashed at that boss, so... Bracelets coming in again? Oh, yes. Perfect. You know, I don't really get crashed at the spider boss. I mean, you know, I streamed like 14kc and I might have had to hop like one time because of some guy in like max gear trying to get his pet or whatever the heck he was doing. I don't even know. But, you know, I don't really like Syrachnus. Like I said, if I get a bludgeon, if anybody ever lends me a bludgeon or I get enough money to buy one, then, you know, we'll try out Syrachnus again. But other than that, I don't really have any interest in doing them with a leaf-bladed battle axe anymore. I mean, welfare gear, leaf-bladed battle axe is the best, but, you know, best in slot is, I think, bludgeon or obviously scythe, but, you know, realistically, who's going to be using a scythe to try and make profit at Syrachnus, you know, so it doesn't make any sense to use a scythe. Other than that, though, I think bludgeon is best in slot. Because obviously crush bonus. I mean, leaf-bladed battle axe also works surprisingly good, but I don't really recommend it. I was only getting, I think, like 2 or 3 KC trips, and that's even with a Bandu's God Sword specs. So, I mean, I don't really recommend it. But, I mean, if you want to do it still, like, it still works fine, but... Well, I've seen people do much better than that. You know, they were 99 strength and had piety on though. You know, with those things, leaf-bladed battle axe, you can get like 5 to 7 KC trips from what I've seen with the leaf-bladed battle axe. But since I don't have those, I only get about 3 KC trips. You know, that really makes a big difference. But like I said, in about a month or so, when we start questing and all that more, we'll also grind King's Ransom, and we will get Piety. Kind of surprised that guy didn't try and crash us, honestly. Although at the same time, I think if you try and crash somebody, you'll get less Slayer XP. Because, you know, if they deal, let's say, half the damage and then you deal the other half, pretty sure both players get less Slayer XP. So I guess maybe that's why nobody really crashed us yet here. And I'm sure it's also probably pretty easy to find a world, or I guess a spot as well. Because, I mean, I only had to hop, I think, once, and I already found this spot, and nobody's been here, so it's not like the Dust Devils by any means. It's basically what I'm trying to insinuate or say by that comment. So we've made over $1 million now, and I guess profits. Yeah, that would be like $1 million, I think, in profits. Well, however much monkfish are. So let's just say like 900k, because we'll probably buy 300 monkfish. That's usually what I like to keep stashed, at least. I usually like to keep like 200 to 300 of each food. Because, I mean, that lasts plenty for me for Slayer, so. Still no rare drops, though, either. I mean, unless you guys want to consider 1 in 128 a rare drop. Because it's red on the drop table list. Meaning it is rare, but I don't really necessarily consider that. I consider like anything that's above or more rare than 1 in 500 a rare drop. That's my definition. You know, anything that's like, let's say, on that 1 in 500 mark, or more rare than 1 in 500. So, you know, 1 in 600 plus as well. That's my definition of rare, just as like a future reference. One more hit, can we do it? One more, no, we didn't. It's like a 9. No, that's a 12. I wouldn't mind some more sharks right now. I'd really hate to have to bank again. I don't know if I will. It really depends, since we're using the slaughter bracelets, you know, so I think we'd be on like 2 KC left if we weren't using slaughter bracelets, but you know, pretty much every Kraken is some profit, so you know, it makes a lot of sense just to use the bracelet of slaughter here. Especially since you must be on task all the time to do these. You know, so I'd like to just always do these as much as I possibly can. There's also some washing going on in the background, so if there's any background noise, that's what that is. It's the washing machine. Although it's been in the background a lot in my other videos, and no one's really ever said anything about it, so should be alright, or it should be fine. 4 left to go, and we should be alright. If we get another shark drop, that's actually kind of the best drop I can possibly get right now. Even more so than, like, you know, the Kraken tentacle or whatever. Because, you know, then we won't have to bank 100%. I'm surprised I haven't got crashed yet, honestly. I really am. I mean, a few people did. A few people did log in here, but for the most part, like, you know, no one actually tried to crash us. Surprising. No one's even attacked our Kraken yet. So I'm actually kind of surprised at that. I really am. Do you need to be on tasks to get in here? Or can you just kind of get in here? What's with the chicken outfit, man? I'm guessing you don't need a task to get in here? I could be wrong, but... Alright, look at that max cape. I forgot about that. Thanks, fam. Forgot about that max cape, though. Congrats on that. I know I wasn't on when you got that, I know I wasn't on when you got the max cape, but... You know, grats, for sure. Doesn't look like we're gonna get any rares this time around either, man. I am baffled how my RNG is so bad. I mean, like I said, I'm not even trying to, like I said, I try not to be negative in any way or anything like that, but man, like, at what point does it become... I didn't get brimstone boots at all, which are 1 in 512. I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take a look at my KC and my total counts and my Slayer log after this. Just because I'm actually just curious on my own what we've gotten or how many we've done so far. And then we get pirate boots. Come on, bro, stop it. Alright, let's take a look at this. Let's just skip straight to the bottom. So we've done 306 drakes. Okay, so that's still not quite the 512 mark yet. It's close, but you know, we haven't quite done 512 drakes. So that one's a little bit understandable, I suppose. Abyssal Demon, Cave Kraken, 131. Abyssal Demon, 626. So we are 626. So 757 plus 306. So we're about... we're about 1,013 dry. Right, is there anything else here? I think that's it. So yeah, we're about 5. We're at almost double the KC required now. Or I guess the average KC that we haven't got yet. And still nothing. So yeah, I guess at this point, I guess it's alright to say my RNG is screwed. Yeah, max cape looks pretty cool. I don't know if I'll ever have it. If I get 99 rune crafting, I'll probably just do nature runes or something. Or whatever method's not that click intensive. But like I said before, I mean, I have 90k runecraft XP. And it really didn't take me that long. I mean, I did it in a matter of like 6-7 hours maybe, starting with like air runes. So I mean, with that logic, that'll take me less than You know, that won't take me that long, I guess, considering what it is. I think Slayer will be my longest 99, if anything. Slayer runecrafting. Well, we finished the task without any uniques, man, or rares. That is another disappointment, but nothing I can do about it, so I'll go ahead and we'll resupply yourself. We'll buy more monkfish, bank all this stuff. Is the poll still active, by the way? Okay, no, I did not vote on this, but let me take a look at all these while we're here. We can still vote. Interesting. I guess we can. Should we add the core skill warding to the game? I'm just gonna skip that, honestly. The Paydos set. What the hell? No. No. I'm just gonna say no. Cause I don't want. No. No. Are we serious here? Is this all these are? Are you kidding me? Yes. That's the other thing. Yes, okay. So that actually gives me a reason to vote no, now that I'm reading these. They're gonna... I remember I heard about that a while ago. They're gonna take off imbuing items at a nightmare zone. And you're gonna have to do warding to imbue your items. So let's say I get an archer's ring someday, or something like that I need to do. I'd have to do warding in order to get that imbued. So I'm gonna say no to all this shit. No. If these are all just question 1 passes, no. Get this out of here. I don't want anything to do with that. I was indifferent until I remembered that one and saw that they were going to do that. So let's vote no to all those. Now let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, they hide the results. No, I don't want anything. I do not want anything changed in that aspect. I don't want to have to do anything different to my imbuing my items. Otherwise, that would make Nightmare Zone almost completely pointless. Aside from AFKing like 99s, but you know that'll inspire me at some point. So we'll leave it at that. I'm not interested in that kind of stuff. I was just gonna skip it until I noticed that point, and I remembered that, and I was like, no way. They shouldn't change things or concepts that are already in the game. You know what I mean? That's my opinion on that. You know? And obviously, you can't say that even if I did vote yes to warding. You know, you can't say that you're like, okay, well maybe that might not have passed, right? Like maybe that specific question might not have passed anyway. Oh yeah, that's right. Let me do this. I'm gonna make a video on 1,000 loot from 1,000. Alright, so we finished that Kraken task. In total, we got 1.96 mil. Now a lot of the runes, you know, 1,200 death runes and 2,500 chaos, 480 blood runes. You know, those pretty much went back into the trident. We have 845 charges left, so we used like another 1,300 charges. And secondly, we used all the monkfish, so we're gonna have to buy some more monkfish and supplies. And that was 118. I did like 20 yesterday as well, and I'll show those loots later on. So we got about 400 more to go for the first video. But yeah, man, so it's like you could argue, right? You could argue and say something like, okay, maybe even if you voted to not add that, it's like, you know, you could say something like, maybe, you know, you don't have to vote no to warding because of that Nightmare Zone ring. Oh, now that's a bonfire. Has to be. Look at that, dude. Level 96. Max mage gear. 1,300 total level. Sanguinesti staff. Spectral and full ancestral. Now that's a really weird sight to see. But yeah, man. So it's like you could argue, right? You could say something like, you know, you don't have to vote no to warding just because of the ring and booze, right? You could, like, people could argue and say, right? So I'll just tell you my logic why I voted that way. So people can say something like, you know, just because warding passes, that question could have still failed and they wouldn't have changed that, right? But my logic behind that is warding, or they can't change that if warding isn't added in the first place. So I just decided to vote no on all of it. So let's grab our next task. I got my Arclight out already for the Fashionscape, but now that I'm thinking about it, just give me Abyssal Demons so I can go put this thing to use. Okay, Gargoyles, can't complain about that one. As much as I'd rather have like Abyssal Demons, Gargoyles is still another 500k task, if not more. So let's gear up for the Gargoyles, my boys. Let's get out our max melee gear. Definitely take the old blowpipe. Make sure I have enough darts. That's the real thing here. Now, I don't know if that's going to be enough. So we'll take 2 prayer potions for any superiors we might encounter. And put on the rest of our gear. And we're good to go, I believe. Looks about right. We'll take this. Some of this, and we'll take our, oh yeah, sorry, we need mithril darts. It's a shame, really. I would like to see a new skill come to RuneScape eventually, personally. As long as it's a fun skill, you know, I don't want any just pointless skills that no one's gonna do. Like, I heard before about sailing. I've never actually looked into sailing, or I don't even know if that was actually gonna be a real skill. But I would like to see a new skill come to the game, and I say that because, you know, I just feel like it should have one by now. You know, like it, besides melee, or not melee, but I mean besides like combat and things like that, you know, Slayer. What I'd like to see come to the game, right? I would like to see a skilling aspect that actually makes competitive money with combat. I'd like to see a skilling method aside from rune crafting, aside from super click intensive methods or whatever. You know, I would like to see a skill be added that's somewhat AFK like fishing and makes, I would say, a good mil per hour. That's what I would like to see get added. And I think that this game would really need something like that. Holy shit, this world's packed. That's my opinion on something the game needs. I suggested this on one of my others. My god, man. How is everybody on a gargoyle task right now? It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. But something I had suggested before on my stream was that they changed the way that skilling is now. So, like, for example, based on your level, you'll get multiple logs per tree. But they don't fill up your inventory space. The extra logs, or the extra chance at the logs, if you get it, they'll just go straight into the bank. So that way, like, it's just a pure bonus and you don't have to miss out on XP rates. Right? I think that would be a really nice addition to the game to make skilling more buffed, you know? Because right now, I'm not, like, when I was younger, I got 99 fishing doing sharks, and eventually, I don't know if anybody played RS3. I wouldn't say RS3, but like 2010, 2014, they had these things called the cave fish, which was underneath of the Falador mine, where there was this area, this cavern where you could fish these cave fish. And those things were like 1,400 a piece. You know, you could easily make up to over $1 million just by fishing those like all day long. You know, and it wasn't in the wilderness. You could do it as a skiller. It was very nice. It was just totally pure AFK GP. You know, it was great. They had a deposit box really close by. You know, I like that. And I think the game needs stuff like that. You know, you should be able to do skilling or stuff that's not combat and not feel pressured to go make money, or not be able to achieve certain items or whatever because the GP is garbage. So I think that would solve a lot of the problem if they just allowed, you know, so let's say you're 80 fishing, you're fishing sharks, hypothetically. Right? Let's say like it should, based on the GP, you should have a chance to proc it. And if it procs, you should get about, let's say, 4 sharks instead of 1. And then those extra 3 sharks just go straight to the bank. What is this guy doing? Why is he on our spot? I think that would be a great addition to the game. So, I mean, let me know if anybody disagrees with that. But I think that's something that skilling definitely needs. You know, because we just got, let me take a look. That Kraken task gave us 150 raw sharks anyway. So, you know, and then there's so many other methods that just give you so many sharks or resources that, you know, it just makes skilling pointless. So at this point, they should just give you a chance at extra. No, I wouldn't say that, because even in 2009, 2007, sharks were only like 1,200 a piece. You know, you could make about $1 million every day doing sharks. And that was like the absolute max. 6 hours a day at like level 90. So I don't want to say that. Skilling has just always not been very good overall. But I think they definitely need to do something like that. So let's say you're 80 fishing. You should have a chance at getting like 4 sharks instead of 1. Every time you catch a fish, you should have a chance at getting 4 instead of 1. And like I said, and then due to inventory space, so that way, or they could even just give it to you noted in your inventory. You know, they could just give you the extra fish noted in your inventory. That would work too. You know, I think they definitely should do something like that. Same thing with mining and woodcutting, you know, like you cut magic or U logs or whatever logs, you should have a chance at getting extra. I think that's definitely something they need to do. Because you can already get, I've already gotten over 1,000 U logs doing King Black Dragon on stream for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Or I don't know if it was 1,000, it was like 500 or 600, if not more than that. So it's like, I don't even think if I was 99 woodcutting that I could have cut that many U logs in that time frame. So I don't see any negatives for them adding more U logs. It's not going to make the price go down any more than it already has. I mean, you could say bots, but still, like I said, like you still regardless get way more doing NPCs than you do. Is this? This guy must be retarded or something. Did you guys just see what that guy did? He was over at this gargoyle by the crates. and he was to the north. And this one to the south of me attacked him. And then for some reason he clicked all the way over here to this one. Ooh, I first ruined Full Helm. Yeah, so he ran all the way from over there to attack this one. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference where you stand. I mean, it's still totally fine regardless of the spot. But I just feel like that was a real dick move by that guy. You know what I'm saying? Because he already had his spot to the north. And then he ran all the way down south just to try and attack our gargoyle. Like, I don't understand what his problem is. I'm just trying to AFK gargoyles, talk on stream and chill, and then people like this are in the game. We have to reset aggro ID? No, not quite yet. Perfect. And then of course they don't answer anyways. Probably a bot, honestly. I don't usually say that, but he probably is. Maybe he's watching stream, I don't know, who knows, man. But it's just a dick move. Like, why would you do that? I don't understand. Because like I said, his spot was already to the north. So he just ran down here to just try and take our spot or aggro our gargoyles. I don't know what he's doing. But it doesn't make any sense. I think this spot here is the best in terms of AFKing. Because, you know, there's just a lot more in a generalized area. But if you go up there, it's still totally fine. But this task is always a guaranteed like 5. That's what I love about this task. It's always profit, you know, just like the other ones. I mean, it's very peaceful, very nice, easy task. Superiors are a little bit of a challenge, I guess. I mean, they're not really a challenge, but, you know, that's why we brought, that's why we had brought our blowpipe, Carol's top, and range and the range cape. If you range the gargoyles, it's not a problem at all, but now these drops are really flowing in. That's what we like to see. Hell yes. You could, in theory, get a rune drop every other gargoyle KC, but usually I only get them every like 5, which is still good. You know, no complaints. I love gargoyle tasks. I would try the marble gargoyles, or not. I mean, I'm sorry. I would try the gargoyle boss, but I'd like to get my melee stats a little bit higher first. I'm guessing like base 90s. I think I could probably do it now if I really wanted to, but like I said, I'd rather have at least 85. I'll get at least 85 before I attempt it. I think the tourmaline core is still like 5 mil, if not more. Yeah, it's still 5 mil, which is still a good price. And then you have the gargoyle boss pet, which looks amazing. I love it. So that's always a nice addition. I think it's called like Noon. I think the pet's called Noon. And that, or it's like Nooner Desk. That's the boss name, but I don't know what the actual boss pet name is. But I think that's one of the coolest looking pets in the game by far. And does anybody know why gold ore is so expensive? I mean, gold ore is like 300 a piece. Yeah, gold ore is 375 each. I mean, that's more than coal and mithril. So I have no clue why it's so expensive, because you get a ton of it from the Motherlode mine. And you only need 40 mining, so there's a lot of it coming into the game. It's not like it's a hard resource. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why it's so expensive. Or I guess why it costs so much. So if anybody knows why the price of gold ore is so high, let me know. Unless it's used for something else. Does it? I did hear about that, but why though? I mean, is that just... I guess probably because you don't need coal. So you can do a lot of the inventory faster. But if you have a coal bag, I don't know how it would be more than... I didn't actually test it, but I've heard that before. That it was the fastest XP. But I don't know how a level 40 ore would be best XP. But I didn't test it myself either, but I did hear that before. But I wasn't sure if it was actually true. It's kind of messed up that it's faster than rune ore or... faster than rune ore or even mithril or steel. Like, I find that... Or is gold ore level 40? I don't know, man. I guess if gold ore is level 40, then that makes sense. But for some reason I thought smithing gold ore is like level 20. I know it's 40 to mine it, but I'm not totally sure on that one. Either way though, you know, it's pretty cool. Because I do like that low level minings can still earn a little bit of money. Because like, you know, without adamant ores, you know, level 40, well, level 50 to level 70 is kind of useless. Because gold ore is more expensive than mithril. And then after level 6, after level, what is it? Is it 50 or is it 60? I don't even know. Well, whatever, I think it's 55 you can mine mithril. So after level 55, you actually make less money than you do at level 40 to 54 until you hit level 70. And then the adamant ore boosts your GP a little bit more than if you were just doing straight gold ore again. So it's kind of a little bit of a screw over to level your mining at that point until you hit 70. So I guess that's actually kind of good. Better for obviously lower levels, but until you hit that 70 point, it's really just so less money. I mean, mining itself until you get to that point, it's quite a bit less money as it is. I mean, especially with blast furnace. I mean, with Motherlode mine. But we'll see how much I get. We might do blast furnace. Whatever I get from like 61 to 70 mining, I might, I may go ahead and just do it at blast furnace, depending on how much XP I get. Rather than, you know, rather than the other stuff. I could even just sell the gold ore, buy myth buyers, because I should profit with those. So, you know, whatever we get from 61 to 70, we can use that for smithing, so we can get closer to our requirement. And then after that, we'll just do AFK, steal our mithril dart tips until 70. I'm not totally sure how much it is, but GP wise, or I mean XP wise as well though. I know that it's 35k XP per hour with steel dart tips if you're focused. So 350k XP per hour. So after an hour, we'd already be like level 63 or 64. I'm not totally sure how much XP level 70 is, but I think I think 20 hours to get from 53 to 70 smithing with slight profit and totally AFK. So yeah, that'll be a 20-hour grind for 53 to 70. 61 to 70 mining, that'll probably take me even longer. So, you know, not looking forward to the mining portion at all. You know, because, like, of course, we could just 3-tick mine or that kind of stuff, power mine granite, but you know, I don't like to do that kind of stuff. I usually like to AFK pretty much everything I do or multitask. So it's like even now as I'm doing this gargoyle task, I'm browsing Reddit as I speak. You know, I like to multitask everything. I don't always, but it's like I just, you know, these tasks, the ones that aren't very interactive, I just find it more entertaining to occasionally like alt tab or stuff rather than just stare at my screen the whole time. For things like the drakes, you know, I don't mind either way. Like, I'm totally cool either way. I'd rather have a drake task than gargoyles, and that's kind of crazy to say. Well, at least until I get my brimstone boots. Because drakes do still make close to the same money, but you gotta bank a lot, so it's kind of an annoyance. Unless you don't pick up the drake bones, but that's it's kind of pointless, you know, because I make about 300k plus on the drake bones, every task of about 80 to 100, you know, so that's just thrown away like 300k, which actually stacks up quite nicely. You know, I mean, I don't know anybody that wouldn't take a free 300,000 coins, regardless of their bank value. Now, I used to take Ring of Wealth here, though, because it always picked up the coin drops, but I don't know, how much coins are we at now? 36k. Yeah, that's really not a big deal, I guess, but I used to. When I ranged these, I would always have Ring of Wealth, because I don't have Nitre's Ring. And I think that Ring of Wealth is just ridiculously overpriced. Ridiculously overpriced. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's probably still like around 6 mil. I'll take a look here. Let's just type in ARC and see what else pops up. That guy did it again, man. What is his problem? It's so pointless. But let's take a look. Archer's Ring, 4.8 million. Yeah, that's a lot. Arcane Sigil, though. I'd like an Arcane Sigil one day. Or, I mean, an Arcane Shield. Got that plus 20 magic attack. Although I don't really know, like besides again pking or raids maybe, what's the point of an arcane spirit shield? I don't really understand the point of a lot of the items that are so expensive. Do I have to reset aggro already? No, not quite. Yeah, I don't understand the point though of those items besides like PvP or something like that. I can't really think of anything that you really need magic attack bonus at. I really don't. That's what I was saying before, like even if I got full ARMs from Barrows, I'd just keep it more over for Fashionscape. I'm not sure though, I don't think, that's the thing that I see, because I don't think the Arcane Spirit Shield gives magic defense. Maybe it gives as much as a regular Spirit Shield, I don't really see them taking the stats off of it, so it probably has the same magic bonus defense as my regular Blessed Spirit Shield, if I had to guess, because you have to obviously have a Blessed Spirit Shield to make it. You know, Blessed Spirit Shield plus the Arcane Elixir. So I assume it probably has the same stats as a regular Blessed Spirit Shield, except plus 20 magic attack. That's my guess. And then of course still the plus 3 prayer bonus and all that other good stuff. I might try Corpo Beast someday if I ever end up getting a Dragon Warhammer. From what I've seen, it's actually pretty easy. Obviously, I'd need to get my construction level up a little bit, but that's not a big deal. But as far as I've seen, Corpo Beast actually looks pretty easy. As long as you just, you need, like I said, either BGS, Zami Hasta, and of course the Dragon Warhammer. I did, like I said before, I did unlock Lizardman Shaman. I think the last stream that we did, I unlocked Lizardman Shaman as a Slayer task. Still haven't gotten those though, so if we ever manage to get a Dragon Warhammer, we very well may do Corpo Beast. I think my stats should be in the base 90s for that as well though, but you know, we'll get there eventually. We'll get there eventually, no worries about that whatsoever in my head. Obviously the hardest grind on that is to get the Dragon Warhammer. Let's reset aggro. I don't know if I have to or not, but they don't seem to be attacking me on that square, so we'll just go ahead and reset. But Zami Hasta plus, I mean, even a Bando's Godsword technically is fine for Corpo Beast. So, you know, we only need to really spend, well, to be fair, that's about 20 mil. Whatever BGS is, I think it's actually like 15 mil now. When that guy lent us the BGS the last time, I think I price checked it and it was 15. It used to be 10. So I'm not sure what the price is now, but regardless, it would be like 27 mil and then we can start doing Corp. If it comes down to that. Because right now, again, that's probably the only way I'll ever get Arcane. But I kind of find it more fun though now to rather grind out items like that rather than just buy them. I think it is more fun to an extent. I mean, you know, even if you have a billion GP and every item in the game, like they still have fun getting rare item drops. So it's always fun to see expensive stuff on the ground. It doesn't matter what your bank value is or anything like that. It's still always fun. Now I thought about doing like a couple of things recently, like possibly like you know, just going to Dagonoth Rex, Camp Rex for like 6 hours, and just see what I get. Or something like just not stopping Rex until we get Berserker Ring. I've gotten a lot of Berserker Rings off of Dagonoth Rex, but it's been a while. It's been a while. I got a bunch of Ring of Life Dragon Axes. Last time I was at Dagonoth Rex, I believe the last thing I got was the last rare drop I believe was, I think, it was the rock shell legs. So yeah, that was the last thing I got. Yeah, I mean, it's almost guaranteed every time you do Dagonoth Rex if you stay there long enough to get one of the rare drop items. So it's been quite some time since I've done any Dagonoth Kings, so I might hit up some DKs within my next few streams. Within my next stream or two. As long as I have the time, we'll hit up some Dagonoth Kings. It's been a while. Maybe if I get a Dagonoth task even, I could just go to DKs. We'll have to see how things go. I always use the blood spells now, so I can just heal myself whenever I want. I used to use Guthlins when I first started going there, but oh my god, is that unreliable. I remember like trying to get my Guthlins to heal for like Rex would respawn, like it would be over 5 minutes. And I'm still standing there just whacking the little dudes with my Guthlin spear, and it's just not healing me. So I definitely always take blood spells now. It's just so much more reliable and nice. And you can pretty much stay there as long as you have blood spells, really. It can get a lot of... The other problem with that is if you don't get a decent drop, it gets very expensive for cost inputs. But besides that, I mean, it's totally fine. It's a lot more efficient is what it is. But GP costs, oh my god. No doubt. It's probably close to 4 times as expensive, but you don't have to bank as much. I used to use the Dagonoth bones. No, I always sold my Dagonoth bones, I think, actually. No, that's right. Yeah, I always use my Dagonoth bones on my prayer. Which is a little bit kind of weird because I never use my Drake bones on prayer. I just sell those, but I do believe now though we have enough for 70 prayer, or super close. So I'm kind of hype about getting piety. It's gonna be very nice. I mean, once I get piety, I can do so much more bosses. I can do Abyssal Sire for sure. I can do Skatizo so much easier. I mean, everything's just gonna be so much easier once we hit that 70 prayer mark. But I do plan, I'll probably just get on my prayer levels these days off of Ensouled Heads from Slayer. And of course, dragon tasks. I don't really see myself camping dragons for dragon bones for a while. But when the time comes, you know, it'll be quite easier. World 388, okay. I don't think this is, no, it's not okay. Wait, what? They changed it? World 378 used to be, I believe, the Theater Blood. I think they changed the world for that. But we could even hit up some Blast Furnace maybe later on today. I doubt I will, but you know, I might do that in the next few streams. I remember people said how much money you make a Blast Furnace, but doing Mithril Ore, I really didn't make too much. Same with Steel Bars. I tested both of those for about an hour. And it's like, while you do profit, it's surprisingly not that much. I mean, it's not like a mill or like 800k like a lot of people have said. It was more close to like 400, like 3 or 400k. But I mean, regardless, you do profit. But I don't know. Ever since I first did Blast Furnace, I've always felt like I did something wrong based on my GP per hour. And even my XP per hour seemed kind of low. But I gotta get the coal bag as well, so I should probably, in theory, I should probably just do my mining first, get the coal bag, because I think I'm like 25 or 30 of the pay dirt off. So I'm really kind of close, but you know, we need 70 mining anyway. So I guess it would probably make more sense just to get the coal bag. But that is still a little bit of a grind. It really depends how much, you know, you could technically get that in one or like 6-7 inventories. I mean, I've got my best is like 4 or 5 pay dirt in 2 trips, which is, I don't think that's close to the max. I think you can get like 12 or even 20 in a single trip. I could be wrong. I'm most likely wrong, but I know you can definitely get a lot. So I think I have close to, I think I have like 85 to 85 or like 87 pay dirt. So I think before I do Blast Furnace, I'll probably just get that, because then that'll make that'll make Blast Furnace a hell of a lot easier. Especially since, you know, you don't have, and it'll even save bank time and everything. It'll boost XP rates, bank time, and even boost GP per hour, I guess, but mainly just the XP rates. I think it holds like 28 coal or something, so it's basically like 2 full inventory slots. Which is obviously a lot better. I think that's always something that I've always been annoyed with about RuneScape, especially as long as it's been out now. That's something I've always wanted them to change or update, is inventory space. You know, or like, even like, I don't even care. I would definitely do a quest for something like that. I think that would be totally cool with me. I would not one bit mind doing a long ass quest for more inventory space. That would be insanely worth it. So they should add stuff like that instead of all this other stuff they've been adding, but that's something that I don't think will ever be added to the game. I really doubt they'll ever add any extra inventory slots or space. But hey man, you never know. I don't know how they did RS3, I haven't played RS3, but I heard somebody say the other day on the forums that apparently RuneScape 3 has more inventory slots. I don't really know if they do, but 28 really is not a lot, considering, especially depending on what methods. Like if you cut willow trees, or if you do fly fishing, 28 slots is really nothing. I mean, you get a full inventory when you're high level in a matter of like a minute, if that. So, you know, I would love to see something like that. Chaos runes, hell yeah. That guy must be botting or something. He just runs to all these weird ass squares on the map, and he just doesn't talk. He attacks. He clicks weird spots and he keeps coming to my spot and rotating. But if he wants that spot, like, he can have it. Let's see if he comes back over here now, though. If he does, then he's definitely not botting, and he's just being a dick. But most likely, his actions really do point to him botting, because he always just, he doesn't respond, and he just randomly runs back and forth between those two areas, which I guess would be symbolizing of like a bot. So I don't know, it's kind of weird. That's really weird though, the way he plays. I mean, I don't care anyway, I'm not gonna report it, but it's just kind of weird. Really weird. This guy is probably at Floodvelds with melee gear. I saw some guy trying to AFK Blood Velds a while ago. It was on one of my videos, and the guy was doing Blood Velds, but he was wearing full Guthans thinking that it would heal him. So, you know, Blood Velds obviously attack with magic, so, you know, this guy was in full Guthans thinking that he would just AFK the whole task. And, I mean, he was getting owned. I mean, they were doing like 15s every other hit. This was mutated Blood Velds, not the regular ones. He was at mutated Blood Velds getting hit like 15s constantly. 12 and 15s. I always thought about just kind of buying like a mage's book a while back for when I do tasks like that, but I'll have to take a look at it. I'm not totally sure. I could be wrong, but the Armadillo or the whatever book it is that's for the magic attack bonus, I think gives some magic defense as well, and it's a lot cheaper than a mage's book. You know, it might be like plus 10 versus plus 15, but it'll be like 3 mil cheaper. So I might get that someday. It's just like, it's really just not that necessary though. That's the thing. It's a lot of like expensive upgrades that aren't really necessary for anything. It's just kind of like throwing money away, really. I don't understand why these things keep losing aggro so fast. Like, I'm legitimately confused. Yeah, because I just reset the aggro, and it wasn't even like 3 minutes yet. I mean, I could be wrong, maybe it was. Time does seem to go pretty fast when you play games, but I'm like 80% sure. I mean, I think aggro is supposed to last actually 15 minutes. I know it's definitely not been 15. So I don't really know what that's about. Because as far as I'm aware, it's 15 minutes that you're supposed to... Yeah, 15 minutes until they lose aggro. From what I can remember. Because I remember I used to always have such an annoying time when I did Skeletal Wyverns and when I was trying to safe spot... When I was trying to safe spot Fire Giants at the Catacombs of Krend. So it would always take so freaking long to do it. And I mean, 15 minutes when you're trying to lose aggro and just standing there, that's a long ass time. It really is. But I mean, for things like the Skeletal Wyverns, I mean, I think it's kind of worth it, really. I say that because, you know, you can stay at the Wyverns essentially forever. That's like the one place where, you know, everything like that is really good, really nice. I would say it's probably my, I would say it's probably easily like my top place to do it. No doubt. To AFK. Favorite place to AFK. One of my goals though is I want to be able to do skeletal wyverns while with melee efficiently, to the point that I can just do it with ease without blowing through all my food, or without having to take a full inventory of food, and without, you know, having to bank or run away or whatever. Like, just easily do a full trip with melee, with like an abyssal whip, maybe a hasta. I don't know. I think hasta would probably be best in slot for wyverns. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. And then, you know, just do it with melee, because it is a lot faster with melee. Like, melee is just overpowered, truthfully. Get some piety going, take like 3, maybe 4 prayer pots and a superset, and you're good to go. Hey, there we go. Mystic Rope Top. That's like the rarest thing these things can drop. But 70k, 70k. 300k cash, 44 left to go. I didn't realize we were so close to the end of this task already. Oh yeah, no doubt. Once we get piety, we'll definitely be able to do so much more. It would be nice if these things could drop some unsold heads though. But, you know, whatever. Still decent. I can't complain about the GP, so. Another 10k, look at that coming in easily. But skeletal wyverns are crazy money. The XP is not bad either. The other thing I hate about wyverns, you know, it's just the run to get there is just super long. Even though my house is right there in Remington, you know, that's like the closest way to get there, but it still takes a decent amount of time. Or actually, I think the fairy rings actually might be the closest. The fairy ring to the mud skipper point. Regardless though, either one is pretty close, so you know, you can't skip no matter what spawn or place you go to, you can't skip the main issue is just the dungeon itself is a pretty far run, so. I've heard about fossil iron wyverns as well. I don't know if those things are any good. I'm assuming no, because pretty much everything I've ever seen, people are just talking crap about the wyverns. How do you get a spider task? Like what Slayer Master assigns spiders? Oh, I get you. I got you. I thought you meant you got a cudgel from a monster drop. I'm a bit tired right now, so probably stop streaming here soon. We'll see how much longer, but like I said, I've been up for a good 12 hours already so far. But yeah, I don't think the cudgel's very good based on the strength bonus. It's as far as I know, it's worse than a leaf bladed battle axe. I could be wrong because I've never actually used it, but just based on the stats, it's not very good. Like the strength bonus on it's trash. As far as I'm aware, it's slow. Doesn't hit very good. Doesn't hit very high. I mean, like I said, I never tested it, but that's just my guess. The only thing that I can think of though is like, oh, is it? I thought it was slow. I guess that makes sense then. What's the price on it now though? Still 2.2 mil. It's not bad at all. It's a bit expensive, really. It's probably like the new pure. It's probably the new pure strength training meta or something, right? What does meta even mean? Yeah, you mean you can train strength. That's what I said. It's probably the new pure go-to top best in slot for strength training, I would assume. I didn't know how fast it attacked. So I guess that actually makes more sense now. I thought it was kind of slow. I've never seen videos on it, but either way, the strength bonus isn't that good. Maybe for the, I mean, I guess it's not bad considering the strength level. I mean, the attack level. Now that I'm thinking about it. Especially on a pure, that would actually be pretty good, I guess. 1 defense. Whenever I get piety, I might hit up some Seracnus again. Because Seracnus really isn't hard at all. And considering the drops there are actually not bad at all. Yeah, Abyssal Dagger is obviously better anyway if you have the attack level. The cudgel's just for pure counts. So but, you know, Abyssal Dagger is still pretty expensive. I mean, it's like 3, if not 4 times as expensive as the cudgel. So, what's the cudgel's actual name? By Seracnus cudgel. Yeah, you know, it's like three times more expensive. Abyssal Dagger, to my understanding, if you do Abyssal Sire, it really isn't really considered a rare drop. It's actually pretty common if you get an unsired. I mean, I've seen several people get like 5. Ooh, a Hydra Helm. We got 26 left. Like, you know, most 50 attack pures use the Granite Maul. I mean, the Granite Hammer. So, you know, obviously if they're 60 attack now, that's definitely the new best. Let me check if the price of the granite hammer dropped, or the granite hammer. Yeah, for sure. I need piety though. I mean, leaf bladed battle axe at Arachnis with piety and superset really works good. Honestly, it does. It's just a matter of like I don't have the right stuff yet to really do it efficiently. So. But if I had piety, you know, we'd destroy Arachnis. Even with a leaf bladed battle axe. But obviously, Arachnis Cudgel would be better anyway. Just on the attack speed and DPS output. But I would never go out of my way though to gear up specifically with my own money, unless I was obviously decently rich to do Arachnis. And I say that because you know, it's like, for example, I would never buy a bludgeon just to do Arachnis. I would do other stuff with it. Because Arachnis isn't a boss that I really would ever see myself camping. I don't really know why anybody would camp Arachnis, obviously, besides the pet. So the GP there isn't bad by any means, considering how easy it is for a boss. I mean, he actually has some decent drops. So, I mean, I might try it out again, but I'm just gonna stick to the leaf bladed battle axe for now, because I don't have that kind of money to be dropping on, you know, Arachnis gear. I don't know. I don't think I'll train my pure strength for a while. I mean, since we're a main account these days, attack and defense will go a long way. So, you know, that's why we're sticking to kind of a combination. That's why we're using shared. Shared XP. But we got 16 of these left to go. I think I'm just going to stop playing. Take a little break after we finish this task. Probably won't start streaming again today, but I'll probably come back. If I'm still here, I'll probably just come back on later. But like I said, I'm just pretty tired already today, so we'll just take a break, chill out later. It's only 1:30 in the afternoon, but like I said, it's already been up for 12 hours. So we'll just finish this task out, and then we'll just take a break, I guess. No superiors yet, which is kind of crazy, because normally I do get at least one superior on a gargoyle task, but 2.56 mil GP today, man, that's a number I haven't seen in quite a while. And that's actually really crazy considering I didn't get any like rares or uniques. That's actually a good number for what we did. I mean, granted, Krakens do take quite a while, but you know, for being minimal effort and being Slayer only, like that's what the, like when you get to that Slayer level, that's when Slayer starts to pay off a little bit, and you're like, okay, it's actually kind of good that I finally leveled my Slayer. But really, like, until you get tasks like these, or until you decide to camp these all on your own, like, Slayer's kind of pointless. But once you get like Cerberus, Krakens, Abyssal Demons, Drakes, you know, it kind of makes everything worthwhile then, which is good. You know, I do like Krakens overall. That was my first task with Krakens. And I gotta say, it's honestly a lot better GP than I expected initially. And, you know, because if we had gotten one Trident or Kraken Tentacle, we would have made a good close to 2.4, 2.5 mil. So I love how Kraken Whip looks, but like I said, man, there's just no point until you're a millionaire. Or maybe like an Iron Man. Oh, hell yes. There's that superior we were talking about. Oh god, no, 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 no. Oh, I misclicked. I don't know how that happened, but I clicked on my steel buyers. Now let's not die on the first superior of the task. There we go. I'm not sure how I got hit though with some damage there. There's too many gargoyles in the way, but let's get this superior out of the way. Definitely a good ending to the task, or close to the end of the task. Could get an imbued heart, you never know. And I love that Carol's top, yeah. Looks hella good. I didn't bring a range potion this time, and I think that's why we're hitting a lot more zeros, obviously. This gargoyle is attacking me while I'm doing the superior. What the heck? He did hit us at 25 though when we got froze, which is actually a decent amount. But he is level 349, so I guess that's not that bad. And there we go. Let's see what we get. 2.7k Slay XP. Not bad, not bad. I'll always take that free Slayer XP. What is hitting me? Hit this guy, hit him. There we go. Let's rearrange the camera, 1377 coins. We got 9 gargoyles left. What's our total XP? 230k. It's really not that good either, but I can't complain any. We also got 62,000 magic XP. I mean, that's really good considering it's pure profit. 481k until 92, and then we're at the halfway point, which is not really that far off, especially with Necreals or maybe even Dust Devils. It's actually really good. Like, that's probably a good like 3-4 hours worth of grinding with bursting, you know, maybe even less than that. Well, less than that if you do well. No, about 3 or 4 hours of Necreals, maybe 4.5. And then about 60 hours to get to 99 from level 91, because, you know, let's say 100k XP per hour, so that's 60, yeah, that's 60 hours. 60 hours to get to level 99 magic. 6 hours a day, that would take me like 10 days to get my second 99. But at the time being, I'm just gonna keep up with, you know, I'm just gonna keep up with leveling my magic with Slayer. And then whenever we hit like 93, 94, maybe even 95, oh, another superior, hell yes. And then after we hit like 94, 95-ish, you know, then I might just grind out 99. But for the time being, you know, not a good time to look away from the screen. I don't understand why that thing keeps hitting me though, because I did click away. There was like, I don't know, every time that dude spawns it, my game like has a slight delay. There we go. See that? There's like a little half a second to a second delay when I click away. It also seems to, like, if you're standing close to it, I don't know if anybody's ever tested this out yourself or done it when you're doing this task with melee without range, but when you stand close to it, like, the little, like, freeze ball is in, like, slow motion. It doesn't come out half as fast as it does when you're doing range. Whereas if you range it, like, it comes out very fast and you only have like seconds to click. Maybe it's based, oh shit. Maybe it's based on like your distance from it, but that doesn't really make too much sense to me. If we hit a good spec though with the blowpipe, we can tank a hit. But otherwise we gotta be careful. Especially since I didn't even bring a freaking range potion. Of course I hit another 0. I don't know what his max is though, that's the thing. But whatever his max hit is, let's wait until he does another. There we go. Now we can run in and finish it. One more hit. One more hit. What's he doing? He regened. Please. Jeez, that was close, dude. He regened. And because it doesn't matter, but luckily I noticed that. Because he regened as I had done that. So my guy ran in to finish him, but he had regened his health, which is good because if he hit us, we would have died with. If he most likely would have died if he hit us with the freeze attack, the like red sphere, whatever you want to call it. But that's the other thing about using myth darts without a range pot. I don't know if it had anything to do with it. I'm pretty sure it just had to do with the fact that I didn't have a range pot. I really doubt that that happened because of, you know, using different darts. Because it was a lot simpler or easier with my other... With the adamant darts, it was a lot simpler or a lot faster to actually finish the superiors. I mean, like, noticeably more or faster. So I don't think it has anything to do with that, though. I think it was just the fact that 100% we didn't have a range pot. But let's go ahead and finish this task. Let's put on the Carol's top because Fashionscape. Nah, we'll just do one more. How many Slayer points do we have? It was 260. Wow. Alright, so after this, we'll end the stream. We'll go take a break. I don't know if I'll stream anymore today. I'll probably just go sleep, to be honest. So I'll see you guys later. Like and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. And share my videos, helps me out a lot. And we'll see you in the next stream. But task has been completed. So of course I don't have any teleports. Sorry, we have the Krill teleport. So that'll be it for today, and we'll see you later.